Hey, welcome to RERole. I'm Will. I'm going to be DMing today. We're playing Fate Core. We're going to take it to a little bit of a different setting today. We're not doing our traditional kind of high fantasy D&D style.
That's right. We're going deep underground.
Well, we're going to space.
Oh, my bad.
Right. Actually, well, that's funny you mentioned that, but we'll get to that later. First, everybody should introduce themselves. As I said, I'm Will. I'll be DMing.
I'm Colby. I'm not DMing.
I'm Travis. I'll try to DM, but I won't succeed.
I'm Dylan.
That's great.
Hey guys, it's Colby. Quick note about this video. This is one of our Vault videos, so right now, us at ReRoll, we're taking a winter break. We're going to be filming on the side and recording, but we're not going to post it during December. But in that meantime, we happen to be looking through some of our old stuff. When we first started ReRoll, we started recording, but we weren't recording to post them yet. We were just practicing. And we thought that some of these were pretty good, so we decided to edit them and then put them out during this time while we're filming the other stuff. Something else about this video is we often like to create characters live in our one-shot sessions. So if you like seeing that behind-the-scenes creativity part of TTRPG, that'll be in this video. If that's not your thing, I'll put timestamps in here so you can skip straight to the campaign. But yeah, so this is one of our Vault videos. I think this was filmed about 8 months ago at this point. You can probably tell because my hair is way longer. I haven't cut it since then, so you'll be able to see that in the video. But all right, guys, see you in there.
But like I said, today we're going to space.
Ooh.
We are traveling with members of the Interplanetary Delvers Guild, mission designation Tyche. You are headed to the planet Chrysos on the ship, the IDG Vista. This is an exploratory mission. The Delvers Guild goes to new undiscovered planets, mines their resources, hunts for artifacts, sells them when they return. The Delvers Guild is not for the faint of heart. It's very dangerous. It takes years in transit, so it requires cryostasis. And basically, the world you return to is different than the one you left every time. They say the first jump is the hardest, but after that, most people find it pretty exciting. They get to be whoever they want when they return, just with a lot more money. As you can imagine, it attracts all types. Some people just looking to improve their station, some people escaping. Everybody's running from something. But today, we're going on a more momentous mission. Your branch of the IDG was tasked with testing the Califix Mark III engine, which boasts being capable of going faster and farther than any of its predecessors. You'll be woken up on first contact with a planet that meets the requirements. This planet has been designated as Chrysos, which effectively means gold mine. We'll get into maybe characters first and sort of what brings you into this world as you're getting into cryostasis and launching off. And then we will jump to sort of where our real story begins. But how about, Colby, you talk to me about the species that you'll be playing and a little bit about your individual character.
Sure. So my species name is called the Lunari. They're humanoid, similar in shape, bipedal. They are from a water-based planet. They breathe oxygen, but their world is all islands, chains, so they spend most of the time near or on the water. Their skin is blue and rubbery, kind of like whale blubber type of thick skin. So they're very water resistant. They age very slowly. So they're pretty wise. They're very docile as a species. And they live off of vibes, which is what they call it. They have tendrils instead of hair, but they're not as thin as our hair, but they're not like super thick either. Kind of like dreads almost, dreadlocks. and they're different for each Lunari. They're different, like a fingerprint, and that is where their beauty standards come from. And they absorb these vibes, almost photosynthesis style, through these tendrils. But they do also eat and drink, but that just gives them their personality. My character's name is, he has a long name, but he just goes by Chuckles. He's a male. He's the equivalent of like a mid-20s human, but he's many, many, many human years older. That's just how slow they age. He has long tendrils that go past his shoulders. They're yellowish with blotches of crimson that like swim around in them. They like move in the skin. And he loves surfing, loves being near the water. His planet that he grew up on was taken over, you could say, by a species that you'll learn about a little bit later. And when that happened, his species were just like, "Yeah, man, yeah, that sounds about right. Go ahead, have it." So then they just like left. They just gave it away. And Chuckles has been planet hopping, searching for the planet with the right vibes that he's trying to land on. He can't find one yet, so he heard about this mission and he's like, "I'm in, baby." And that's Chuckles.
All right, Chuckles.
Nice.
Does Chuckles? Do you have a thought? We're gonna get into this, and actually, maybe this is a good place to start. But do you have an idea of what Chuckles' role on a crew would be?
Yes.
We're gonna decide this. So this is the thing that's gonna determine your third stunt.
So he's.
But should we, before you start, should we go through and talk about characters and then go back and decide kind of based off of the vibes of each character
That's
what roles
fair.
we should fill?
Yeah, let's do that.
So that nobody takes one that somebody else had planned their entire character on.
Yeah, let's do that.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
so maybe we'll do that at the end. But that's Chuckles. All right,
Did you
Travis,
want
wanna-
like
oh,
high
go ahead.
concept and stuff like that, or just go from there?
Maybe we'll do that when we do the
Yeah.
third stunt.
Okay.
And that'll be a way into it. Okay, so Travis, go ahead.
But all right, I'll be playing a Negrek. The Negrek are the insectal species, considered one of the, well, potentially one of the first spacefaring species. Though that's a bit contested. The Negrek have developed a system through a special fluid they produce that it seals in objects and allows them to resist the void of space, as well as the heat of re-entry. And it can keep items inside dormant for very long periods of time. So the Negrek have launched clusters of eggs all across the known universe, and partially beyond. So the Negrek are deeply religious species, worshipping the Void Mother, as they refer to her as. Now, they're predominantly split among two different cults, or sects. The sect of the Nevos, a mostly peace appreciating, not necessarily loving, but appreciating, compared to the Grekaz, who are a more violent sect who, while the Grekaz believe that a planet's main purpose is to feed the Negrek, the Nevos believe that a planet is to be explored and appreciated. Both believe that once they've walked, as they call it, every planet, then the Void Mother will return. As of now, that is very difficult, as planets keep being discovered, so the Negrek continue to explore and trying to bring about their god once again. So I'll be playing a Nevos Negrek.
What did you say about the Negrek's ability to communicate with each other?
Yes, that's pretty important. Negrek don't breathe through their mouth, so they actually don't communicate in a traditional way compared to most of the other spacefaring species. They communicate with each other through pheromones, which they can communicate to other species through. Two Negrek can communicate from quite a long distance away once they've matched pheromones, and the females, very rare of the Negrek species, can actually communicate incredible distances, planetary even, but only with other Negrek. A Negrek can communicate with other species, but it's a one-on-one connection. The other species can't respond back. And if other people can tell a Negrek is having a conversation, as it will be sitting there looking at somebody making like weird shifting and clicking, where the other person can understand them and hear language. Everyone else just sees the and just like a buzz of their wings twitch, and yeah, they're a bizarre species. But the contributions to spacecraft and their most important feature, which I'll go over in a second, has led them to be both appreciated and feared across the universe. And the biggest item there is the Negrek have a genetic memory. So what one Negrek learns can be bred into future generations. And that is what allowed them to spread and maintain these two sects, even though they might have never even had contact with their mother or any other Negrek society. There could be planets out there that are inhabited only by Negrek, and they don't have a way off the planet. So they just build up a colony and launch more off. So two Negrek could actually have a very interesting conversation, as they come from completely different mothers. To alleviate this, they oftentimes send eggs back to their home planet to breed in and refresh ideas. So while other species aren't allowed on the Negrek's home planet, as they're very territorial about it, is a treasure trove of potential information that they seem to be mostly keeping to themselves. Now, my character has a now, as I mentioned, they communicate mostly through pheromones. So Negrek don't name each other. So they'll often adopt a name somebody else gives them. And I'll be introducing everybody to the Negrek Soap. Soap got their name from eating a whole stock of bars of soap because it was testing the nutrients in the soap, which it's determined is not much. Negrek can eat just about anything, given enough time. Well, given that it's more carbon-based. And this particular Negrek, Soap, is a devout follower of the Void Mother and the Nevos sect, and is desperately trying to continue the work of the Nevos by trying to walk every planet and appreciate everyone they can. When given the chance to explore a even more distant planet, it can be awfully exciting. And it's a potential avenue for another home for more Negrek, or perhaps maybe that's the last one and the Void Mother will come back. So Negrek are controversial, and many try to avoid them because you can't tell the difference between a Nevos and a Grekaz until you get to know them, or one starts viciously attacking you.
So you said that you said insectoid or
Yes.
insect based, but what do they look like morphologically?
Right. They stand anywhere between 4 to 5 feet tall. The best place to start is they're fly-like. They are bipedal technically. They have two legs, 4 arms, but predominantly they're they have a main set which they use for most things. They're covered in chitinous plate, and they end in only 3 fingers. And similarly, they have a much smaller set of arms, about halfway down their torso, that mostly sits towards their center. That's very similar, but notably have slightly longer and typically kept sharper claws. And their
Horrible.
colors are typically blackish, browns, grays, mostly muted, darker colors. They have these larger eyes, not compound, but they don't have like eyelids or anything. Just very simple, just usually covered by a thick membrane.
Do they have irises? Am I thinking like anime human eyes here, or
No,
are these like
they do not have irises.
monocolored? Okay.
Yeah, they're monocolored. They're bulbous, kind of like an insect's eye, but it's not technically compound eye. They can't see all around them. They do have 2 sets of wings, technically. It helps them talk, helps them spread their pheromones, and it can be used for short bursts of flight. Their feet end in 2 digits compared to the 3 digits of their hands, and a Negrek can technically kind of crawl around. Their bodies are built for it, but they almost always stand straight up at a bit of a hunch.
Okay.
Soap in particular has a small sash that's around and under the armpit of one of his tiny vestigial arms. Just wraps around his back in a way that under his wings, so he can still tuck them in and spread his pheromones and whatnot. And also has beads that are kept around his main arms. Just a couple wrapped bands. Beyond, other than that, not all Negrek have them, but Soap has these feathery antenna-like appendages that come off of his head. His are mismatched. They're not even in shape or size. There's about 4 or 5 of them, and they all just kind of like spread off in different directions. Usually, he tries to keep them going back, but they always kind of bounce back. They're not
Beautiful.
Antenna in the traditional sense, but
Sounds
they kinda look
gorgeous.
yeah, a real.
And
Cutie.
so dear viewer or listener, the Negrek are who took over Chuckle's planet.
Yes, I forgot to
the
mention
mean ones.
specifically. Yeah, the Grekaz.
Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
All right. So Soap the Negrek. I like it. All right, Dylan.
All right, tonight I will be Billy Red-Eye Norton. Red-Eye only to his colleagues and friends and family and anyone that's ever met him, because he has one of his eyes is like a robotic eye that is like glowing red almost constantly. This eye gives him like super far vision and also can zoom in and look at the details when he's doing his space engineering work. He had a very minor role in the creation of the Califix Mark III engine. Not a big enough role to, earn any special credits, but he feels like he deserved more thanks or attention to his work, because it wouldn't function without his ideas. So when he saw this mission come up, he saw it as a way to test out his work in a way, and also admire the greatness that this machine is, but also as an opportunity to make him a name for himself and try and gain some, I guess, some infamy as the space engineer that's traveled the furthest. He's got cybernetic implants pretty much everywhere around his body. One of his arms is entirely robotic. The other one he likes to keep human. Like all his joints are robotic. Seems to be maybe 50% robot at this point.
Is it
Brain implants.
Is it all visual, like outside, or is it a lot of it inside?
It's outside.
Okay.
Yep. So all the parts that he is still skin is still human. I guess like his joints and his shoulders and knees and hips and stuff would be under. But he wields a small but practical laser pistol on his hip, and has seems to have almost any tool necessary at his disposal from people that work with him.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Billy
Very
Miller.
good.
And
I like how you went with humans, so you didn't have to give a whole history lesson.
what do
Yeah.
humans
Well-
look like?
Yeah, so this guy, he's kind of like me. So, jacked.
Ugly. Yeah, I guess we don't really need to go through it.
6'3". Yeah,
Ugly,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hideous,
Okay.
disgusting.
Nice. Self-insert.
Yeah, no. No, I'm not a space engineer.
Same, actually.
Your character looks like you.
You're flies.
I mean, just like the appendages.
Yeah.
And the soulless eyes.
But we don't talk about your nipples
Oh,
that
yeah.
often. I feel
Should we
like.
choose roles now?
Not enough. Certainly not enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to choose role? You seem pretty open slate. You can be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
What could
I think I might
Billy
be the-
Norton fall into? Well, why don't I do this? Why don't I list the roles and then we'll decide.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So the first role that you may choose is the loader/laborer, as expected. I'm going to list them first, and then we'll talk about what benefits you'd get later, depending on interest.
Yeah.
There is the mechanic/demolitionist. There is the doctor or medic. There is the scout/navigator, the soldier, and the anthropologist/environmentalist. There's many hats here. These squads are pretty small that drop down, so you sort of have to be multi-talented. So you can be thinking about which one of those roles makes the most sense for your character. There is tech involved in each one, so if your character's not naturally possessing qualities that would make them good at one of those roles, don't sweat it. You'll get the equipment. We'll decide how you ended up with that job, or, who you knew to get to that position if we need to. But those are your roles. Maybe we'll go through now, and you can tell me your aspects, and then decide. We can kind of all chip in to decide who should be in what role, I think,
Yeah.
instead of just like letting people
Mhm.
pick one at a time.
Okay.
So maybe we'll go back through same order. Colby, what is Chuckles? What are his aspects?
His
We're
high
talking about your
concept.
stunts as well.
Yeah. His high concept is planet hopper searching for a new home. Pretty straightforward. His trouble is too docile for his own good. And then his 3 aspects are vibes don't lie. He can sense when people's moods change or they seem like they're deceiving. Alien, not outcast. So he goes to a bunch of different places, but he's very friendly and is pretty easily making friends where he goes. And then this last one most likely will not come into play at all, but Born of the Tides, because he is obsessed with surfing and water and things like that. And then his 2 stunts I created are, the first one is called Blubber Bounce. And the idea was, because of his skin, he can reduce all physical stress done to him by 1.
So he just has natural armor.
Pretty much, baby.
Okay.
And then
Armor one.
his other one is kill aura, and it's +2 to rapport if he's trying to either de-escalate a situation or like
Make
hear
calm
someone up.
emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think we could probably do something creative with the armor thing, but we're not going to spend 20 minutes on it. I think that's a solid place to jump off from. So what are you thinking about? You can ask me about any that you were interested in. And we can talk
There were
about
really
what we
two
did
that I
after
could
the
see.
break before I tell you.
The one that was the loader one, because I kind of picture him as he's like doing these odd jobs as he goes to other planets just to like make enough to either live there or travel to the next one. So he's willing, and he's very like nonchalant. He'll just do what you say. Either that one or the environmentalist kind of. I was like, well, he loves the water and like lived on islands, so I could see him fitting into that.
Sure. So the loader / laborer, you're going to get a power suit, which gives you +4 to all your physique checks. So that's like any strength check. And a +2 to fight checks made with melee attacks. So if you can get in there tight with them, you can do some damage. It also allows you to spend a fate point to modify the terrain for story purposes with your strength. So you can kind of just come up with like a cool story element and you just do it. You sort of succeed automatically.
Nice.
That is cool.
Modifying the terrain around you, which could be fun. What was the other one you said? The kind of environmentalist / anthropologist. So that gives you a +4 to lore, and a +2 to, and lore is used for like knowing about other species and alien environments, things like that. And +2 to rapport, from your studies and from Dexter. Dexter is your pocket-sized database of all known races and planet / environs. He's effectively like a little circle orb guy with a lens, and he's got smaller circles sort of trailing off that sort of lag behind him as he floats through the air. And he talks loudly.
Good.
So you would get a pocket Dexter.
Okay.
And those are your two. Oh, and your fate point skill for that. You can use a fate point to make up a fact that you remember about an environment or a race that could potentially help you out of a situation. So, I remembered that these guys they hate bright lights, and then you flash your flashlight and things get
Okay. Did anyone else feel like their character, I mean, really just Travis, do you feel like your character would fit into that one?
Pretty heavily, actually. We might have to discuss that when I talk about my stunts.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, let's hear that, and then I'll...
Okay.
All right, Travis, go through your aspects then for me, please.
So my high concept is that I am a faithful Nebos of the Void Mother. With my main trouble being so much to do in so little time. Something I forgot to mention is that Negrek only live 30, maybe 40 years. So when it comes to space travel, that's pretty rough. It makes it very difficult to go long distances. So there's a lot of pressure on.
There's a lot of value in joining the IDG then.
Yes. So Soap had a big focus on this. He wants to discover and advance the Negrek. However, Soap is overly optimistic. While he can get troubled about time specifically, nowhere else to go but forward. And other people also don't get him down, as he believes that no one is truly evil. People are only misguided. So Soap is always ready to lend an ear and a few helpful words of advice to get somebody moving forward with their lives. Soap also believes that sometimes the best solution are the simple ones. So just Soap has adopted being relatively simple.
We're gonna get along.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody's gonna have any drive in this group.
Yeah.
Everyone's just gonna be like,
hooray!
hey man,
Yeah,
we'll just sit
man.
here. Like
Yeah.
this is fine.
This is cool, dude.
Well, first stunt is so delving into his genetic memory. It just gives me a +1 to lore checks, as there's just a broad spectrum of just random, memories coursing through all Negrek. But I also can have a +2 to a skill of choice. At the start of the game, I was going to do it with rapport. I may spend a fate point to switch to a. That's a typo on my sheet. I may spend a fate point to switch this skill to a different skill until I spend a fate point to switch it back. So kind of an adjustable knowledge. Yeah, as I kind of switch and start honing in on specific things.
Why don't I do the strength-based one?
Well,
And I'll just be like you can, because that fits you pretty heavily, the environmentalist.
yes, but very specifically this next stunt, Void Mother's Peace. I have a +1 to armor, and I may use rapport or empathy to deal mental stress. A fully stressed creature loses the will to engage, or some other similar effect. However, if I ever attempt a physical stress dealing check, and that could be even something like knocking something over onto somebody or pressing a button to fire a laser, I lose this feature for the rest of the engagement.
Okay, so you're sort of trying to get them to a mental tipping point, and if you fail to do so and act aggressively physically, then it resets your clock.
Yes. And
Alright.
I lose that armor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay. I
Yeah,
like it.
that's my idea.
So you want to be an environmentalist / anthropologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, with what was that? What was that? +2 rapport?
+4 to lore and +2 to rapport.
Yeah. And the lore fits very well, especially with the other. So it's essentially +5 to lore.
The rapport is effectively like you know enough about a race to be culturally, or a species to be culturally sensitive and not do something incredibly
Nice.
offensive. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Hey, Mr.
you might still
Gene.
do it, but yeah.
Could you read the other one, the things from the other one? I got the modify terrain, but
Sure. So +4 to all physique checks. Any physique skill use. So like grappling, pushing, lifting.
I do have
and then a
physique
+2 to fight checks that are made in melee range. So you could just be a punch, but you could also you have a power suit, so you're wearing a power suit. So that sort of changes your whole aesthetic too. I guess it makes sense that you have armor now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you could pick something up with your armor and hit somebody with it, and that would still count towards that.
Okay.
All right, Billy. Hit me with you're muted. Hit me with your aspects first.
High concept cybernetic engineer.
Sure.
My trouble is it makes sense to me because I'm very intelligent, but I am not good at explaining things to people that don't understand all the technical, jargon or actual how things work. Yes, I'm a very bad one, pretty much.
So a math professor.
So I understand things, but I'm not able to get other people to understand them. My other aspects, I have machines speak louder than words. Instead of, trying to reason through a problem, I'll just try and make something to fix it. I have navigating the stars by instinct, just to emphasize that I really just rely on my instinct, and I call it my high instinct that I'll just follow around and not try to overthink things. I have quick draw and quicker wit because I'm a good shot with my pistol, but also seem to have at least one idea ready if things go south. Um, I try to improvise. Um, my 2 stunts, I have Universal Gadgeteer. It says, because I am a master of improvisation, once per session, I think I can declare that I have a specific gadget on hand, gaining a +2 bonus to the relevant skill for the remainder of the scene. It's like, oh, I have a thing for that, and then I
Yeah.
pull out the
Oh,
doohickey.
nice.
and-
You're gonna like, well, go ahead and finish. We should have
Okay.
just made these together. I feel like that's what it works.
Then I have over-engineered explanations as my other stunt. It says, because my mind operates on a different wavelength, I can use crafts instead of rapport, and gain a +2 bonus when attempting to create an advantage by overwhelming someone with convoluted technical jargon. It says, if I succeed with style, the target gains the temporary aspect mentally overclocked, which can be compelled to cause hesitation or missteps, or just for whatever reason.
Nice.
Mentally overclocked is great.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, those are cool.
So I'm thinking mechanic.
Yeah. So let me read you the mechanic / demolitionist, which is just like tech guy. +3 to crafts when constructing. And +3 to create an advantage in combat using explosives or technology or, some kind of tech that you've created. You have your Mult-E tool, and that is this kind of futuristic sci-fi magic tool that always can flip into the thing you need and help you in basically any situation that you need to construct something.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That's
And your fate point skill is you can spend a fate point to repair any technology that you stumble upon, even
Wow, hell
without
yeah.
prior knowledge of it.
Oh, so like the classic sci-fi trope of just like, hold on, let me check out this ancient technology.
Yes, yeah, and then they and then like had the thing on it that fixed it
Yeah.
even after millions of years. Yeah, that's effectively what I'm talking about.
Nice.
cool. Okay.
Well, all right. Quick question. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
considering something else. What's the rest of them?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? That actually works. That's great.
Yeah.
For
Hell
the
yeah.
environmentalist. So you could have been the doctor, who gets a +4 to empathy, which empathy is going to be used for any like medical checks here. So,
Nice.
and a +2 to lore, and then you can spend a fate point to instantly heal any non-fatal injury outside of combat. So you remove anything short of a major consequence instantly.
Nice.
Nice.
So makes your team a lot tankier.
That also would work.
We don't have to
pretty
worry about that though.
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
The soldier gets a +4 to shoot checks, a +2 to fight in any combat scenario. So like you can use your +2 to fight for defense, for aggressive actions. Some might call those attacks, or anything that you can think of creating an advantage. And you can spend a fate point to instantly kill a non-important NPC, which
Nice.
if they're not named, that's not important. And is that it? No, Scout Navigator. The Scout Navigator, you get a +3 to investigate and notice checks. Oh, the soldier has like power armor, which slightly different than the loader's suit, right? More combat focused and comes with basically a like adjustable rifle that's sort of built into the arm component that can switch between long range, short range, automatic, semi-automatic, and different types of ammunition. The Scout Navigator gets +3 to investigate and notice checks with their, like they have sort of a visor with a heads-up display that's constantly feeding them information about the location they're at, just in terms of like tracking and identifying any threats. And you can use a fate point to go invisible with a stealth suit, which, you know all the broken things you can do with. This is sci-fi invisibility too, so it masks anything that would make you identifiable. So you can't just like smell them with your pheromone bullshit.
Understandable.
Okay, but it doesn't matter because you didn't choose those. Now we have our characters. You have your roles. We can dive in as we enter the Vista. You climb into your cryostasis pods, get as comfortable as you can. Your mind starts to race as the pod doors close. A familiar sensation at this point, but it never gets easier. Who knows what the world's going to look like when you get back? But before you know it, before you have time to panic or start to second guess, you hear the same noise as the air is escaping and the pod doors are opening. You hear someone in the distance. It's muffled as your ears adjust. A commander shouting orders. You right yourselves. Take in your surroundings. Bodies rushing past from every species in the Union. As you rush over, start to prepare yourselves. It seems you have arrived. You all get outfitted with your equipment that we just mentioned based on your roles. And you all head to a debriefing chamber. You have been selected as part of Echo's squad. The initial Alpha incursion group has landed, cleared space, and started tunneling. Echo Squad consists of the three of you, along with your captain, a Hydrian. He is also an aquatic race, though different than the Lunari, so not the same as Chuckles. He is sort of the closest thing we have that would be modeled in this way would be like a cuttlefish. So he's got tentacles that sort of are constantly moving down the front of his mouth and around the corners. And the majority of the bulk of his head sits back, leaned up against this power suit that he wears. He has a cybernetic arm as well, much larger than his other, that you know as being parts of the crew, can sort of remotely command aspects of the Vista from the surface. So there's a lot of firepower on this ship, and that arm is sort of his key to launching those strikes. His name is Captain Zek Grael. You would call him Captain. And you know that when he gets angry, he sort of creates a light show up the front of his face. An unfortunate tell. You will also be joined by the commander of the military force that travels with you. He is, ironically, also an insect-like species, but very different than the Negrek. He is Grixix, which is... They're much larger, more like beetles. So thicker, like natural armor, though he wears a very reinforced suit, much like the one I was describing for the soldier, with this large rifle-like weapon that kind of wraps up the top and bottom of his arm. Almost seems attached. You're really not sure if it is. His name is Ektar. Most of the guys call him Hector. But if you want to be culturally sensitive and appropriate, his name is Ektar. There are 3 more in Echo, and that would be Kieran Oren, who's a Thracian, a red alien race, 4 eyes, 2 large ones in the traditional human, I should say human, not traditional. It's very egocentric of me. Alignment with 2 smaller eyes, just lateral to those. They're red and have very sharp rows of teeth, with a row of antenna down at the top that sort of slowly drift. They will be functioning as your scout. You have Freknablat, a Hydrian sort of pufferfish variant. So he's a big old boy. He's rotund and has spines that come off of the sides of his face, sort of white right in the middle that fades to a more tan coloration with black-tipped spines. He is your doctor or medic, so he's the one you go to if things go wrong. And a human woman named Namdu Tuli, and she is your other hired gun. So she's a soldier that works under Ektar.
What did you say? Oh, never mind. He's a soldier.
Yes, he's the
What was the captain's name?
commanding officer. The captain's name was Captain Zek Grael. So that is
Okay.
Echo Squad, and you guys will be departing down because it seems that the Alpha Squad has found something interesting that requires guidance from the higher ups.
All right.
And you
Nice.
are part of that escorting force. So you're debriefed, you're given your equipment, and you enter the longboat, which departs down towards the surface.
And we've just been asleep for hundreds of years?
You're unsure.
Yeah,
Nobody
no idea.
really told you.
Okay.
And time is relative, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know that by the time you get back to whatever planet you came from, it's going to be completely different.
I ain't going back. All right.
You'll see Soap kind of like ruffling back his weird little feathery antenna. And you guys will hear clicks and chitters as Soap looks over to, let's do Blout. Just be like, it appears my cognitive functions have mainly stayed, similar since this last freeze.
Oh, wonderful. We have a Negrek.
Yep, yeah, that's me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're always like this.
Mm-hmm. Always clicking and chittering away.
All right, keep yourself out of trouble, boy, but you know where to find me if you get into some.
Oh yeah, you know it. You'll kind of glance over and see Chuckles, and like tap on the suit a little bit, and then you'll just kind of chitter and shake as then Chuckles will hear, "Oh, you're Lunari, yes?"
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Oh, it's you can call me Soap. That's what they call me. I had a
Oh.
name. I was given one.
So, do I hear you
No.
speaking in my head?
Yes, you hear me in
Okay.
your head. Everyone else
Okay.
just hears chitters and
Okay.
yeah. I
And
can only
do they
communicate-
respond to you out loud, or can they return?
They cannot
communication?
return. They have to respond out loud.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not telepathy. It's
It's not telepathy.
pheromones that you're transmitting to them. I see.
Is
Yes.
this well known how you speak, or is this like?
It should be pretty well known.
Okay. Okay.
Negrek are infamous.
Okay.
Notably, you also are all equipped with, this is standard IDG protocol, with equipment that will translate even unknown alien languages once it gets enough information on them. So it's a strange sensation because a lot of these people, or individuals on this vessel, will be speaking in different languages, but you'll all be perceiving them in sort of whatever is the most identifiable for you. But in this case, you are receiving this information sort of on two channels at the same time, and it's a little bit of a delay. So you get his pheromone information first, and that processes in your brain as language, and then you hear from the chittering that is happening with his armor and everything, or his shell, that sort of the gist of what he's trying to get across. So other people can hear what he's saying and chime in. But they're getting sort of the Spark Notes version. Whoever he's talking to directly gets a more in-depth, exactly from the flies.
Got it. All right.
Oh, did you know? I've tasted a Lunari once.
Whoa,
You're quite
man.
good.
What are you saying? That's kind of wild. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I found one once.
Okay.
There was a space crash. And I found what he is.
And you ate
But I
it?
wouldn't waste the nutrients, so I wouldn't do that. No.
What'd we taste like?
Yeah, it was quite good. You're quite nutrient dense.
All right, man. That feels right. I like that.
Always good to have a Negrek aboard.
I'm gonna say my Billy this whole time has just been sitting over with his wide-brimmed hat as he's leaned back, like kind of pulled over his eyes. He'll move it up and he'll look over at Sophie like, "Is there anything your kind don't eat?"
Oh, actually, lots. We can eat like rocks, minerals, including things such as, and he'll just begin listing.
I'm just gonna put the hat back over.
I've pulled most of those things out of Negrek before, so you may not eat them, but some of your kind do.
It's always good to experiment. Where was I? Oh, yeah, copper.
Sure, the whole periodic table.
Yeah.
All right. As you touch down, you're all kind of crammed into this loading bay. As you touch down and take off the harnesses, you now smell the atmosphere of this planet Chrysos for the first time as light starts to pour in around the bay doors as they open.
What is the atmosphere situation? Breathable?
You all have, you're all equipped with, it's not like a spacesuit helmet. It's more just like a collar that emits a chemical combination that creates sort of a bubble around your head that makes it tolerable for any of you, depending on your, it's sort of unique to your anatomy for this to be.
Does this bubble
palatable.
go around my hat?
Yeah, it's not a real bubble. You don't see it. It's more just like, how those fans that are just like this that create wind and nobody in the world knows how they work?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's just sort of constantly emitting this thing to create an environment around your face.
Okay.
If you want it to, it can do great things with your hair just constantly.
Nice.
I'll leave that up to you. You step out, and you hear the captain and the commander shouting orders to. You see a sizable force has already landed, and there are piles of equipment laying around and people organizing things, starting to get things up and running to continue this excavation site. As you kind of take in your surroundings, there is a big swath of land that has been cleared of all vegetation, and you can tell by the char marks that this was done pretty aggressively. It's standard procedure. You sort of clear a bigger space around your excavation site to make sure there's no dangerous living beings that are going to try to approach. They set up a perimeter with the soldiers to defend the excavation site, and then you start digging and exploring. This site had been sort of scouted and established on the planet before you were even woken up. So everything's sort of taken care of. They just stumbled upon something that they needed some guidance with and called for some aid. So you are led down behind the captain and the commander and the rest of the Echo Squad as you enter the mine.
As we're heading past, Billy can glance over and see that Soap has reached down, has pulled up some of the foliage and is shoving it into his mouth as he's going along. And Soap will glance over as you're kind of glaring at him, presumably. As Soap just kind of connects with you and just don't worry, it is not very nutrient dense.
I don't want any.
And you can see on the horizon that this is sort of, you landed in the middle of what is effectively a forest. There's a lot of tree cover around that has been cleared out. But it's not, trees in the sense that you're familiar with. They look more fungal, like budding mushrooms and sort of structures that don't really make sense in a traditional manner. They sort of branch off, and some things seem more connected than you would otherwise think. But it's sort of greenish. There are a few dull colors that poke out under the light of the sun, and it does create a pretty thick shadow underneath all of it, so you can't make out a ton from this distance. But that's sort of the gist of the foliage that you can make out. As you head down underground, the light of that sun starts to become a distant memory as you walk for quite a while, it seems. And eventually you get to some of the transport carts that they've established already, and it takes you to the end of the excavation site as it stands. The equipment has all been shut down, and there's a lot of workers just kind of hanging around. As the captain steps out and says,
Well, what is it? Show me what you've found.
And steps forward, and his tentacles kind of fluff out. And one of the loaders and laborers leads him and the rest of you down a small tunnel, seemingly branching off of this main excavation mine that they've created. And it goes for a ways, longer than you were expecting, before he steps up and is sort of taking up the whole of the entrance. So you can't really make out what's beyond him. So he stops and steps out of the way and just gestures. And those of you that are closer to the middle of the pack can kind of make out what is effectively this enormous void that has just been bored straight down, with sheer edges on all sides. He says,
Sorry, Captain, it seems like maybe we're not the first to do this. I can't really make sense of this. It seems to go straight down. We found indication that this might not be the only one either.
Capture taken. Capture taken. Capture taken.
Taking photos.
Soap is using
Dexter?
to take a couple pictures of the area.
You see the captain's his light show kind of starts as he glances over his shoulder and then looks back forward.
Can I use my red eye to look down there and let's say that it has thermal vision.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and roll a notice check.
When you
I'm gonna
say
say-
avoid, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
When you say avoid, do you mean like a tunnel?
It's a tunnel, but it's like a tunnel that expands into nothing on the way
Okay.
down. You can see some light from above, but it does just seem like an elimination of all matter in that space,
All right.
with completely smooth edges.
Notice is a +5.
Okay,
Ooh.
I was gonna say you needed a +2 to get some information, a +3 to get quite a bit, so you crush those. You sort of push past and kind of involve yourself when you weren't asked, but the captain appreciates a little, drive. So you start to take in the information. You gather no thermal data in the sense that it's cool. There's no residual heat coming off of this source. I mean, there's seemingly some heat coming from deeper in the tunnel. It just seems geothermal. But you are able to identify that just based off of sort of the smooth, featureless walls, that this was not done with physical, like, drilling or any kind of excavation that you would typically use through the IDG. This looks more like something you would see on a planet that has experienced battle. This looks like long range, really high powered artillery
Oh.
that even the IDG has limited access to. That's the closest thing you can approximate it to.
Okay.
Well, what do you see, boy?
Well, first thing I noticed a couple peculiar things. This ain't from us. Now, this kind of technology, I think, is from some type of battle that happened here recently or long ago that I haven't figured out yet. Seems that some heavy artillery detonated here, and not getting much thermal reading down there.
And you see one of the individuals that had guided, not the laborer themselves, but one of the individuals that had met the captain upon landing and had guided them down here, who had called for reinforcements in the first place, says, well, I don't know if this is relevant based on that information, but we actually haven't made contact with any living beings. Not on the surface, nor underground.
What of what you refer to them as smaller, non-sentient species?
None.
This is underground, yes. All right, so let's see Soap kind of start approaching a wall and then just start clicking up into it as kind of like starts scaling the wall towards the roof as he starts burrowing out a small soil sample.
Okay. You gather your soil sample. No birds, no mammals, nothing larger than single-celled organisms on the surface.
Chuckles has been like walking around this thing, so I'm like not super far away, but I'm definitely not close. And then I just like turn to the group. Dude.
So you guys are underground. It goes above you too, so you can kind of like hug the wall and get as far along it as you can, but you probably can't get all the way around. This is
okay.
Just because.
But I'm still in eye shot of us. Like, dude, something feels wrong about this. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. I don't like the vibes.
Oh, I can get you a barometric reading if you'd like. Maybe that's the problem. So goes across and gets closer to the hole and starts taking a mineral sample.
Kieran Oren, the Thrashian, leans up against the wall and says, "Well, who needs a scout when you've got a vibe detector?" I guess.
Don't knock it,
that
bro.
settles
Don't knock it.
Well, it seems whatever war happened here was taken to fruition. They did a hell of a job. Makes our lives easier, as far as I'm concerned. If nobody in Echo Squad has a problem with this or sees anything that we should be concerned about, I say that we return to the ship and we wait until...
He touches his ear.
Come again, Vista.
He looks to the commander, who just kind of grunts. The commander, I didn't describe, is a beetle variant of an insectoid species, the Grixix. He's more like a Hercules beetle, so he has this sort of long appendage that comes out of his forehead and expands. He just kind of grunts. And you see these two mandibles kind of open up and click a few times as they make eye contact. And the captain says,
We've lost contact with the Vista. Seems communications are down.
Yo. What? Do you have any idea how something like that could happen? Our tech's the best.
Well, the Vista's in no danger. There's just something disrupting the signal.
Bro,
Could be
that
the
kinda
floor box
sounds
capacitor.
Well, we're not going to do anything about whatever the fuck that is from down here. We rally back to the landing point. Wait. We've got trouble. Something's going on by the longboats. All right. Ektar, you're with me. Namdu, Kieran, Blatt, you stay here.
he turns and starts marching back.
Ektar, I want you to rally your men that are down here. We need a force.
And then you hear him kind of trail off as he's walking back up. You're left down in the tunnel. I assume you follow back out to the main tunnel, unless you'd like to stay and collect further information.
Well, my soil samples ran through Dexter are probably done. So I was mainly checking to see if I can get an age on the impact area and the age on the roof.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. I'm going to still make you do a lore check for this, but you get a ridiculous bonus via Dexter.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, the same thing applies. I'm going to give you some information on a 2, a little more information on a 3. 4 or greater gets you a lot.
How about 9?
You
That'll do
actually
it.
get to DM, so I'm going to switch that
Hooray!
over. You're going to take over from here. You figure out what goes on now. So, Dexter, his little multifaceted body that sort of trails off into smaller orbs that trail behind him, kind of swoops around your head and comes back up and says, "Sample analysis complete. You have given me dirt."
Well, I don't think technically Soap can actually communicate with Dexter, but Soap nods.
Your inquiries have been answered. This sample was impacted by abrasive force, high heat, 800 years ago. Is there another question there that I missed?
Yeah, is there a difference in the ceiling? Because it got covered at some point.
You would have to. You were trying to crawl all the way to the roof of that hole to get covered.
Oh, just
Or
enough
to
to
get
get
that?
any sort
You're-
of cover over it.
You're decent ways underground.
It's probably a lot of rock, I suppose.
You could send Dexter up there if you wanted to in this time. I could say that because he can fly.
Yeah.
To gather the sample. So we'll say that he was able to gather it. The soil was laid down several hundred years ago. It seems the hole was covered by roots and fallen foliage. A lattice made mostly of fungal growth.
So we'll, recall Dexter and turn to, I suppose, Billy, you're closer. Okay. It seems it was a natural cover, so doesn't appear to be foul play besides the big hole so far.
I'm gonna walk over at that. Be like, there's something not right here, boys. I'm telling you.
The person that had guided the captain down has stayed with you and is kind of just like nervously sitting there and says, like I said, this isn't the only one we've found. The closest to show the captain, but there have been several.
I'm gonna look at Soap. Hey man, like your people have wings, right? Like, why don't you just like jump down and then you can like fly back up and tell us what's down there?
Oh, well, that is a good idea, and I could probably prevent myself from taking damage from the fall. I can't actually fly very far distances. I could when I was in my younger stages, but as I get older and my plates harden, I can't go as far.
All right, man. How old are you? You don't look that old.
Oh, well, I'm getting up there in years. Well, it's actually quite exciting, because who knows how old I actually am with all the cryostasis. But last I checked, I was somewhere near 6.
My man, you're like a baby, dude. You're like not even in your prime yet.
Well, I guess that depends following standard solar cycle.
Okay, whatever that means, brother.
Yeah.
So
He's
I guess
older than
maybe-
many of the neglect that I've taken care of. That's for sure.
All right, man. Cool. That's pretty cool. We still got an issue though. This don't feel right. That's what I'm telling you. Look, and like he points to his head. Does he wear a helmet with the suit?
Unless you want him to.
He
It
points
does
to his
sort of
head.
come up around the shoulders, though. Like
Nah, he's
higher,
not
because
wearing
that's
one. He's
what-
letting his hair flow.
Okay.
He points to like a specific blotch that's kind of squirming. He's like, "Look, dudes, it's telling me right here. There's something not right."
I'm inclined to believe Chuckles here. His antenna has been acting up, and that's usually not a good sign.
Thanks, Big Red. I knew I like you.
I like you too, Chuckles.
You'll see Soap kind of like look around and then look back to where the tunnel where they came from, and we'll just kind of look to the two of you, and you'll just hear just the as Soap's wings kind of come out and just as he just kind of shoots down the tunnel some
Yo,
and clings to a wall, and it'll
that's
just
what I'm
kind of
talking about.
motion you guys to follow.
Where are you headed? Which direction?
Heading back towards the longboats, as there's apparently
Yeah.
trouble near
Yeah.
there.
I'll follow.
All right, man. That's pure. I'll head to.
Pure. As you head out that way, the three other Echo Squad members kind of catch up to you, and Kieran says, "I don't understand what the point of bringing a scout was if you're all just gonna rush ahead. Maybe I should take a look."
Soap will pull off the wall a little bit, and you see like the little vestigial arms kind of cling to the wall with his back feet, so he can kind of move his main set of arms freely. Oh, that would be very appreciated.
Don't sweat it. She turns, and you see as she steps away, she sort of just fades into invisibility.
My
Oh.
species doesn't sweat.
Kind of you do, though. Your goop is
Yeah, okay.
actually very relevant.
It's true.
And Blatt sort of leans up against a wall and relaxes. And Namdu is still looking towards the head of the opening of the cave. Weapon sort of still ready, scanning. And you see there are still workers that are kind of walking in and out. Some of them are taking... things have like halted, but there's still like some commotion, and some are getting antsy and walking back towards the front. Eventually,
Soap scraped up a few rocks and put them in its mouth.
even though he said he wouldn't eat rocks, one of the
Yeah.
fun things we know about him, he's already eating rocks.
You had to do it. We knew it was gonna happen.
I'm just checking.
Eventually, you hear some like scraping sounds. Sounds of commotion.
Yo.
You hear flashes. You hear flashes. You see flashes.
Yeah.
I can hear colors.
And you see Namdu get tense. She starts squinting and looking down. And she says, "Oh, fuck." And then before you know it,
Oh God.
there are these enormous, almost faster than you can register, metallic looking creatures
Oh
that
God.
flash down through this tunnel and sort of overwhelm the force of workers. You see some of the workers that had wandered further along than you just instantly get torn to shreds,
Oh.
smashed against the rocks.
God.
You see flames sprouting out.
Oh my god.
Namdu immediately starts unleashing the weapon and just launching suppressive fire down the cave as they start getting you, trying to usher you away. You're in just flung in to the heat of combat. I need you all to make notice checks for each.
Right? This could be a misunderstanding.
Oh boy. Wait, no, that's good.
Okay, I got a +4.
Me too.
Hey, same.
Hey.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. That's all very good.
That's my...
I was feeling pretty good. I got a good roll. And I have average notice.
He notices my best thing
Nice.
Okay, so
because of my eye. My red eye.
you all seemingly leap into action. So you see everything's happening very quickly. They're moving faster than you can almost comprehend. But one of them has stopped and landed on top of somebody near you. You see it turn its attention towards you. And you now get a pretty good look at this thing. It is almost like a large, like, predatory cat, but with
God.
doubled front limbs. So 6 limbs total. It's a construct, clearly. It's made of some kind of artificial substance. And where its head would be is sort of this small protrusion that extends into 4 enormous diamond-shaped pads, almost like solar panel looking, with large bumps on them. And then it has this sort of scorpion-like tail that's shifting through the air, that opens at the end, and you see glowing in it as it sort of retracts into 4 positions as energy charges up the tail and then launches this cone of flames, much higher intensity than you would have expected it to be capable of, and just incinerates several of the workers that are running near it.
Yo.
You see that Namdu's weapon, the soldier that was brought with you, a special trained soldier, is having minimal effect on this thing. It's doing damage, but it is struggling to put a dent in it, really. So you all had 4. I will let whoever has the highest athletics go first.
Not me.
Mine's pretty high.
Not very athletic.
I'm a surfer.
I actually have plus
Oh, no.
3.
Oh, me too.
So there are some situational aspects here. You've got it's chaotic, it's dark, and it's a labyrinth. So there is this main tunnel. There are several little craggy outcroppings, kind of branching off in all these different directions.
And how many of
which
these things
lead
are
to
there?
those holes that they've discovered. Hard to tell.
Okay.
You can see at least, you would imagine at least 3, but from the sounds of it, more.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of clung onto the wall, so I think I'll take this opportunity and jump in and go first. I'm going to attempt to study this thing. I know the weapons aren't, the guns we have aren't very effective. I'm gonna try to look for any sort of weak point or operating panel on this metal construct.
Okay. Yeah, let's roll in. I will say that would be. I'd let it be crafts. I would let it be investigate. I would let it be notice.
Okay. All right.
Whichever one of those you feel most strongly about.
Well, my best attempt is a 0. So
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, with your limited knowledge of these kind of technologies, especially on an alien planet where you're not even like truly an alien planet, where there's no information even in the system, even in any of the Union about this place, or about who would have constructed these, or how they were constructed, or if they were constructed, or what's going on. You don't see any weaknesses in that sense. You do notice with a average roll,
Yeah.
or what does that put us at? A mediocre roll.
yeah.
That it's taking damage from the fire of those with weapons down here, but just minimal. It doesn't seem like a winning fight.
Yeah.
Would you like to move?
Yeah, I will start climbing across to see if I can't get closer to anybody who might still be alive. Just
Yeah.
anybody who got previously attacked. Trying to
like
stay
that-
optimistic about things.
You're saying somebody who has been attacked but isn't dead yet, like an injured person, or you're trying
Yeah,
to
pretty much
cluster
any-
near living?
yeah,
He's
anybody
looking for
who's
survivors.
Injured, yeah.
Okay. You see some people nearby that were sort of on the periphery of the fire that are still severely burned but weren't directly impacted by it, so are still alive.
Right.
Who are just like in shock, stooped, shaking. Some are fully supine, laying on their backs.
Yeah, I don't have an action left. I'll just try to commune with them and try to point them further down the tunnel away from
So it's sort of like Saving Private Ryan. Everything's
Yeah.
The sound of this is being drowned out. Fortunately, your pheromones kind of cut through some of that and can directly get this information to him. So you're well equipped for that job.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's up
'Kay.
next?
Chuckles sees this going on. Is there? So we're going down this tunnel back to where we were coming from, and they're blocking the way. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm gonna turn around, and I'm gonna be like, "Big Red, we gotta go, brother!" And then I'll like grab him and start running.
Where are you? Which direction?
I'm going back the other way,
Deeper into the tunnel?
Yeah, back to the hole, yeah.
back to the hole. Yeah.
Okay. So you rush back. Red Eye, you going with him or are you
Oh man.
resisting?
It's not what I want to do, but looking at the situation, it doesn't seem like a winnable fight. And I'm not very. Yeah, I'll go with.
Okay. So the two of you duck into that branching tunnel, rushing back towards the only other place you know in the mines. That leaves Soap and the other two remaining members, so Namdu and Frekna Blatt, out in the thoroughfare. Frekna rushes over to the people that you were trying to guide out, and he pulls out this device, and he clamps it down on one of their chests, and he turns it, and he starts like manipulating the top of it, which is sort of this semi-solid, semi-liquid surface with his hand in very specific ways, and you see some of that skin starts to be replenished, and you see some like almost like holograms of projections that go over the damaged skin to analyze it, and then you would imagine something is being done internally to help speed up that process. So he's actively healing some of these people that are downed. Namdu is taking steps back towards you as just unloading fire into these things. You see her like curse in some language that you don't understand that doesn't get translated through the earbud, and hit the gun and pull on something, and it sort of transitions and extends out, and she sits down on one knee and braces herself, and there's this enormous explosion and light as she's sort of pulling out all the stops trying to take some of these things down, and that strike does take a limb off of one of these beasts as it stumbles, and you see for the first time damage. It doesn't seem to react to it necessarily, but it is slightly less actionable, and the others do seem to respond to this new threat as the attention of a lot of these things gets directed in your general vicinity. We bring that back to you now, Soap.
All right. Soap will see all this and kind of hop down off the ceiling towards was it Bloat?
Frekna Blatt.
Blatt. Yep. All right. Hop down near Blatt and commune with him and just, Can you move anybody? Is it safe to?
There's too many of them. I could try to stabilize a few. All I can do is buy time. Can you help me move anyone?
I can try. Be sure to focus the ones with the loading suits. They can move others. And the wings will flick up as Soap will kind of launch back up towards the ceiling. And, let's see. I'm going to... Yeah, you know what? I'll give this a shot. I'm going to take a moment and think to myself to see if there's anything I can pull from the genetic memory of the Negrek.
Okay. So that's one of your stunts?
Well, yeah, it's still genetic memory. It's just the it really just gives the +1 to lore checks. These are unknown, so I would assume the uh, anthropologist would +4 lore wouldn't apply to this. But I'm trying to pull back to like all the way back near like
Something
early.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
early Negrek history.
Yeah, see if there's anything I can pull that might be from an ancient civilization that Negrek might have experienced at some point that had something similar, anything that could relate to old firepower, something of the sort.
Okay. Roll a lore check for me. You're going to need a high roll for this. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I pulled out the stops here and had I took away my +4. So with that, and a -3 on my roll,
Attaboy.
that puts me up +1.
You know, I actually, just so you're not, I mean, you're sort of self-nerfing, which I always respect in games. I'm going to say Dexter is advanced artificial intelligence enough to know that it doesn't have records of this species, but
Yeah.
it could try to link to any similar like branches to give you some context.
All
So
right.
I will still give you your +4. I think that's just a part of your character.
So I guess
Maybe
using,
why don't we do this? I'll give you a +3. You can give your +1 from your history. So you'll +4 total. Because
okay.
it is not a full picture. There is no data of this species in there, but maybe something similar or something with similar constructs.
Okay, so +4 total.
Yeah.
All right. So if I just +4 total, then that would put me at +1. Got a -3.
Well, what's your base lore? I mean, sorry, +4
Oh.
plus whatever your base lore
Oh,
is.
my base would be +3. So
Okay, so yeah, still good.
that's +4 total. So whatever that.
+4 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, this is a really high DC, so you're not gonna get. You
Yeah.
don't just know everything, but
Correct.
I will say with a +4, you recognize that this type of technology and the very specific modifications that have been made to these hunters, what it seems like, are sort of exactly that. You've seen similar things in other species that had a very specific target. So these things seem to be designed to hunt something very specific.
Mhm.
You've seen that in other situations throughout history, and especially warring Negrek variants have experienced that.
Yeah.
You know, insects are not always received well on planets, so
Understandably.
that's the best that you can ascertain, that these are designed for a very specific purpose.
Yeah. So Blatt will kind of hear the mutterings of Soap as he's shooting around, like glancing and just heat fire. As he kind of like, clicks up and he like it's almost through the portable atmospheres people have. He's right above Blatt, so he can kind of almost smell like the musty smell that come off Negrek, as he'll just hear in his head just the walking suns, as Soap will start like clicking away and moving away from these metal beasts. All right. Well, Soap has been effective so far this combat.
All right, so you're staying out in the main thoroughfare.
Currently, I'm moving away, but I'm trying to stay near Blatt.
You're kind of like up on the wall above them. Okay. You other two.
Mm-hmm.
You are just continuing to rush deeper in towards the opening, or what's the plan? Getting as
No,
far
I'm
away from the
gonna
fray as possible.
I'm gonna kind of like stop, and I'll look at Red Eye, and he can just see the panic in me. Like, listen, man, Look, I'm freaked out. If there's anything I've learned in life, it's when these things, bad people show up, I just run away. That's what I do. But I feel like I might have made a mistake, and you can tell he's like rambling, and I'm gonna defer to Red Eye.
Chuckles. Listen here. Clearly, we have the situation under control. I can activate my overdrive hyperflux capacitor up into my laser pistol here, and I should be able to shoot
Man,
them
what are
in
you
there.
even saying? It doesn't even make sense.
All right, just hey, we're gonna get back in there. We're gonna fight. We
Fine.
might die, but this is where legends are made, Chuckles.
Oh my god.
Now, get in front of me and provide me some cover while I shoot.
Oh man, this is the worst day ever. I knew the vibes weren't right. I shouldn't. Okay, I'll do it. Now I'll turn around and I'll go back in.
So as you guys turn and try to rush back in, you both feel a force behind you. You feel a pull. Really, Red Eye, you feel a pull. Chuckles, you sort of just feel Red Eye get yanked off of the back of your power armor. You don't really feel any force that's changing your direction, but it's enough to stop you and make you change course and turn around.
Good.
And Red Eye, make a physique or athletics check for me, whichever side.
I'm not very good at either of those. Okay, +1.
Okay. So you feel this force behind you, and it almost pulls you off your feet. You try to pull against it to absolutely no avail. You are yanked into a little side chamber, and Chuckles, you see him kind of just disappear into darkness.
Yo!
Chuckles.
Ah!
I look around. I'm like, yo, this sucks.
Chuckles ain't got me, Chuckles.
Let's
Chuckles,
go back out
run!
there and get him. We're gonna fight him up. Oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I don't want to be a hero anymore.
They got me, Chuckles. They got me.
All
right.
Yeah.
All right,
It's my turn.
so
Yeah.
that's all happening. As that's happening, Soap, you're trying to pass this information off to any of the parties involved.
Yeah.
You see, as Namdu rolls into cover behind some stalagmites that have branched off, and changes the gun's formation and starts unloading, but she's drawn too much attention. You see two of the these predators. That's two on the nose. They're not that kind of predator. Two of these we'll call them
Sex offenders?
automata.
Oh.
Two automata. Yeah, they jump in, break through the stalagmite cover, and just start tearing into her. They rip the gun out of her hand. Her arm comes with it, and they kind of stomp down on top of her. You look as she's just torn to shreds, overwhelmed, and you see Black kind of look up wide-eyed and trying to. He's on to like his third or fourth person, but you know he's slow. You know he's far enough away. It's now or never. If you want to get out of here, you get out of here. If you want to stay and commit, you stay and commit to the group and try to get a few more people out. But things are looking rough.
All right. Is it back to Soap?
Yep, you're up.
All right. Much quieter now that there's the commotion of all this horrors around, as the flutter of wings shoots and Chuckles will just see Soap kind of fly towards him rapidly as he
They're back.
suddenly just clings onto the side of your loader suit as this rush of this musty smell as the pheromones connect with you and the commune begins again as Soap just kind of surprisingly loud in your head just the hole, we guide them to the hole, take them to the hole, gravity.
The hole, bro?
As
No, come to the tunnel. Come to the tunnel. Help.
um, yeah, your suit can reshape terrain. That's what it's for.
Okay, man, you're gonna have to be way more clear than that.
Guide him to the hole. Landslide.
As this happens, you see just this rush of flames that passes by the opening to where you have rushed out, and incinerates where you would assume Blat was.
Oh. All right. Yeah. You got the two most docile too. All right. Are you still up? So.
Yeah, I mean, I just moved towards you. Well, unfortunately, my action was going to try to be to pull their attention. That's not super relevant anymore. Is anybody even still alive in our group?
Your group is pretty much wiped, except for the three of you.
Let's see.
But you don't know where the scout went. You don't know
Yeah.
if she's still around. But you do know that the battle is not looking good out there.
Yeah. As Soap will kind of glance around. Just, where is Norton?
They took him, man. They just took him into the wall. I don't know. They disappeared.
You see like red flashes of light and a pew 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 from a nearby tunnel. As a
They're getting me. They're all over me.
Where? Together, creatures are stronger. To Norton. As Soap will kind of point towards this small hole on this side
Yes.
passage.
So you guys, some easier than others. Chuckles, you really have to kind of grind through this thing, but you're strong enough that you can break away at the walls and create some space. For yourself.
Very quickly, Soap will just go off the side of the motor and try to slip around and rush forward.
Yeah, easier for you to get through for sure.
Yeah.
Chuckles, you bore through this thing, and you guys approach quickly. You see the red light of Norton's eye getting brighter as you get closer, and you quickly make out Norton. Also, you feel. Roll another athletics check for me.
0.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, you actually won that time. So you hear in your ear as you're going back, you hear this, which slowly starts to turn into, please, you can't fight them. Please stop. You can't. The hounds. And you stop. Pull a hand that was trying to cover your mouth and stop you from screaming. And it becomes much less aggressive. There is, you're released, and you turn, laser pistol drawn, I assume, as the other two enter the chamber, and the three of you are now looking down at a smaller, feminine figure that you can barely make out in the dark. Wearing space traveling armor, like completely white. Yeah, well, actually, completely white skin. Like, not even like porcelain human flesh. We're talking like smooth and colorless.
Like a marble? Like a...
Kind of.
Okay.
You see these large, what you assume to be eyes at first, but upon further inspection, seem to be textured and not glossy. They're sort of a different structure entirely, but they would be where eyes would normally be. A darker, sort of muted red tone. And you see at the top of the head, sort of these small spine-like pseudopods that extend off and kind of push up behind. And to the rest of you now, this sort of clicking sound that slowly starts to translate into words.
And that's from our earpieces?
Yeah.
Okay.
That says, please, I can't see any more of you die. You don't stand a chance against the hounds. Your only chance for salvation is if you come with me.
Hi, I'm Soap.
I am Nia. It is a pleasure
Nia,
to
don't you
meet
move a
Soap.
goddamn muscle. I need some answers out of you. Are we safe here, or should we follow you to your safe haven?
I like both those options.
I answered both of those questions prior to you asking them.
Can we trust you?
It's true. They did.
I don't trust you. I don't know you.
She looks over your shoulder and says, with all due respect, what choice do you have?
I'll be honest, I kind of like your vibe. Like, you kind of...
Yeah, Chuckles, come get an ID on this lady.
You see the spines on like the pseudopod-like spines kind of start to move as you mention that.
Whoa. You got
You
like
trust it?
something going on? I like it. I say we do it. I'm in.
Yeah, Soap will, approach and probably get a little too close. As Soap has decent night vision, but it's not perfect in these tunnels for sure. So as it gets probably a little uncomfortably close, is kind of like examining Nia's features as
Strangely like human distribution of limbs and structure.
Okay.
But certainly not human.
Yeah. And Nia will here in their head, Soap reaches out to him and just goes, oh, okay, standard limb distribution, very nice. Like a poke in the arm, just like, all right, don't worry, I have assuredly found out that you are physical. Where are we going?
Well, that is reassuring. You should come with me.
Okay.
She looks at Chuckles and says, be careful with the suit, not to make too much noise. Do your best, I guess. And
Yes,
she
ma'am.
turns and ducks down a pretty small passageway that seems to wind deeper.
When she steps forward, I'm gonna turn to Red Eye. I think she likes me, man. Don't you feel that?
Yeah, maybe you should go first.
As you guys are talking, Soap is just following directly behind me.
Well, after Soap, I guess.
All right. Well, I'll follow.
You guys start to follow, and this path continues on for a while. The sound of battle and the flashes of light from the flames seem to become further and further away until they completely disappear. Eventually, you enter a small opening once again, and this is a welcome sight as you see some sort of bioluminescent fungal growths along the edges of this little chamber, so you can finally, see without the aid of your equipment. As Nia turns to you, kind of sheepishly stands on one side of the room and then looks over into the shadows on the other side. And this very small mouth at the bottom of the head sort of turns into a smile as two other forms step out. One is more rotund and has 4 larger pseudopods that kind of come off the top of the head, and the other one is tall and thin, and has just one eye in the middle and has one kind of pseudopod that trails off. And
One
they
of the
say,
lights dim slightly as Soap swings around, and there's just a little bit of the bioluminescent mushroom as it's kind of getting chomped down into Soap's mouth.
Oh, don't do that.
Mm.
This is Tev, and that's Clack. And they both just kind of look you up and down before the one identified as Tev steps forward and says, Nia, we told you couldn't do this. They'll never let them enter. We'll all be killed for bringing them even nearby. Revealing yourself was enough of a problem. This is ridiculous. She says, what was I supposed to do? Just let them die? She kind of glances over at Chuckles again. And then looks back. Look, they might be the only ones capable of helping. They were able to damage some of the hounds. Whatever. You're on your own with this. Don't tell anybody we saw. And they both turn and they leave.
I love that mental imagery of Nia saying they might be the only ones who are able to help. As it just like pans over as Soap is sitting there, just like the eyes going in. No, don't have any pupils, but eyes essentially going in different directions, chewing on a glowing mushroom.
Fly, fucking burnout surfer dude wearing construction gear.
Come on
and fucking Billy Red Eye Norton.
I was assuming still like holding the pistol forward.
I'll walk over to Nia.
Yeah.
Put my hand on her shoulder.
Giant robotic hand.
Yes. And then I'll see that it's giant and like move it away.
Her whole shoulder kind of slumps as you put your hand on.
Yeah. So I'll lift it. Look, that was really cool what you did back there. And like, I just wanted to say, we really appreciate that. But like, we don't know what's going on. And if I'm going to be honest, I kind of like lost it there for a minute, which is not like me. So
she sort of puts a hand on your chest and says, you're being too honest. Look, we've been trapped here for generations. My people have been forced underground. We have the means of leaving, but every time we've tried, the hounds are one thing, but they're just the ground force. Morothos keeps us here. They rule the skies. As soon as you entered, you were trapped. But maybe if we work together, you bring technology that we haven't seen before. Maybe that's our way off.
I'll look back at Red Eye when she says the technology bit.
Oh, and you'll see Soap has gotten close to Red Eye as well, and you'll just hear some soft chittering as Soap is presumably communing with Norton, and you'll kind of pick this up with the translator, but Soap will just say, What are the scans? The life scans on the ship, the Vista. How deep did they go? How deep are we?
Well, this is abnormal for my kind to come this close to the surface. We're still very far from my people's home. It's the only place we can be safe from the hounds. Even then, when pockets of our civilization have been detected, Morothos cleanses them.
Who's this Morothos thing you keep talking about?
seen it, but it's like a god. They say it blots out the sun. It creates enough energy to eliminate an entire colony of my people instantly.
Huh. That guy sounds not cool.
Very not cool.
So you're saying he trapped you guys here? Did you start here? Did like he come here? Cause like my planet also kind of got like taken over, but like it was cool. Like they were, I mean they weren't nice, but like it was cool. So
She
we left.
glances down at the suit that she's wearing, which. So I'll have you roll lore.
All right. 8.
Plus 2, 8. Oh my gosh.
So you get sort of a private ding from Dexter.
Oh.
Which just says, this suit was originated with the Micron people in, and says a year that was 1,000 years ago.
Yo.
Micron.
We landed here like you did, and I think it does it for sport, for out of ego. I don't know. It holds everything that lands here captive and hunts it. We retreated, and our people were able to live in places that others weren't. So we thrived, but we're stuck now. This is no way to live.
And you think we can help you?
Technology must have advanced in this time. We've had limited resources. We can't keep up, but
Yo, we don't even know like how long we've been asleep, to be honest.
well, that probably wouldn't matter, right? You weren't making technological advances while you were sleeping.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Guys.
Right.
But that's okay. That's okay. She looks at all of you kind of up and down, and she eyeballs the Dexter and your suit and the gun. Clearly, things have advanced. Do any of you know anything about ships?
I know a little something or two.
We actually were able to scavenge some. We have a hangar, but I don't know if I'd be able to get you there. The way that they spoke, it sounds like that might be more trouble than it's worth. I also know of some crash sites in the forest. What do you guys think?
The forest is closer, I presume. Well, the
Closer
crash
and
site is closer than the hangar, I presume.
Safer from my people, but it's on the surface, so there's that risk. We would be on a time crunch. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how long it takes them to get to us.
I don't really like the sound of that.
Well, I know Norton here. He can create or repair things very, very quickly. And if we could avoid bringing disturbance to your people, we can escape and bring a proper force to deal with these mechanical monstrosities.
That would be perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. And help the rest of my people escape. Maybe
That's something we could do.
if it's not too much to ask, take me with you.
Well, we'll need someone to lead us to a forest wreckage.
Right, but you'll take me off the planet? If I get left behind after helping you on the surface, This whole thing, it's exhilarating, but it's scary.
Right. No, I will gladly want you to come along. I have much to record.
Okay, good. Then let's do it. I think we can do it.
Let's be off then.
You know a better tunnel than that one? I'll point back to the one we came through.
I know several. This way. She starts ducking off in a direction. All right, you guys head up towards the forest. As you're leaving, you hear a sound behind you. You turn immediately expecting the hounds, but instead see an exhausted female figure leaning up against the side of the room, wearing very familiar armor and the familiar display visor helmet of the scout.
Oh,
that rushed
Kieran!
off.
Kieran, you're okay.
I'm okay.
yo, how'd you get out of
Something
there?
weird about the way that she's speaking, but seems fine.
Ooh.
All right, we don't have blood, but here, let me take a look at ya.
You get close, and as you can see, like, just this part of her face sticking out from her visor, and she sort of steps back and says, "I'm fine. Let's go."
Oh, okay.
Look, you
Wow.
didn't see what happened back there. Not all of it, anyway. I think they saw through the stealth. It's like they don't see in the same way we do. Nom do. Sh- We need to get away from here fast.
All right. Well,
You can do your check later.
okay. Well, we're keeping up the action, so hopefully you can focus on that.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get out of here.
All right. Until things quiet down.
With his wings.
Yeah, as he's got a big
Zips
tank top.
forward back,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll follow him. I'm giving a
And Nia
suspicious eye
looks
to
past
Kieran.
you
but-
all and kind of glances and can't squint because her eyes are not. There's no lids. But
Same.
kind of glances, cocks her head, then looks at the rest of you and says, "With you, I assume."
Yeah, she kind of like saved us, so. And she's gonna take us to some.
You got
who am I
these
talking
flipped.
to? Oh,
This
crap.
is similar voices to be fair. This is Nia looking at.
Oh, Kieran.
Yeah.
She's with us.
Good. She kind of scans up and down the equipment that she's wearing and says, "Good," and turns and rushes off in that direction. So you guys are carving your way through these smaller caverns as you make your way up towards the forest. Eventually, you see light starting to peek through.
Well, these roots are getting nutrient dense. We must be getting close.
Just bite marks. You can follow the path of the bite marks all the way home. You make your way to where the light is shining through the brightest, and eventually, Nia kind of steps forward, goes to peek her head out, and Kieran says, "I can scout ahead if you'd like. That's sort of my role." And she looks back at the rest of you. "Well, we're in a pretty safe space here.
think it would be fine.
Mhm.
The crash site should be just that way. She gestures. All right. If I'm not back in a few minutes, I guess it's compromised. And she steps up, goes invisible, and rushes off.
Invisible. That was Kieran that just left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as she leaves, I'm gonna look to my group. Like, hey guys, like, did you feel that? Like, something's up with her. Not just like the horrors and stuff. I don't know. I kind of felt weird.
Oh, with
You
what?
think something's wrong with Kira? Kieran?
Soap is holding a root.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got a strange feeling. That's all I'm saying.
Well, perhaps she is in shock.
I suppose that could probably be it. All right, I'll
Hey,
forget
it's a-
about it.
It's a pretty common medical condition that can happen to lots of species.
I guess it did kind of happen to me a little bit. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably overthinking it sometimes. I just feel things and I try to like think them through, and sometimes I don't think too good.
You hear a voice from behind you. Oh, is the vibe radar working again? And you see Kieran become visible again at the opening.
Yeah, Kieran, what's up? I was just talking about you.
Good things, I
Just,
assume.
of course. Yeah.
It's
And I'm
fine.
really good.
I found it. We should hurry.
Alrighty.
She
Let's do it.
turns and starts rushing off in that direction.
Alright, off we go.
I'll follow. Tentatively.
The rest of you all follow as you rush through now this dense fungal forest to a small clearing. Notably, no animals, no insects even. Eerily silent as you rush through, and you get to
Yeah.
this opening, this small clearing where you see, partially grown over, a crash of a pretty sizable vessel. Red-Eye, this is your realm. I would say we're going to need a series of checks here to see how successful you are in gathering things.
All right.
Chuckles, first, I need a physique check to see you're clearing the way and clearing off any necessary overgrowth. Soap, you may make any checks about the history of this vessel or its contents or what it likely was.
Perfect.
And Norton, I'm going to need you to roll a crafts check to identify what's usable materials here.
I got a physique +3.
Physique
get a
+3.
Crafts +2.
So you were able to clear away a lot of the overgrowth and find, with Red-Eye's guidance, sort of a semblance of what would have been bay doors. And you're able to pry open a small opening. Not as much as you were hoping, but big enough that you can fit through it easily. So, not a bad entry.
Yeah.
Soap, what'd you get?
7.
7. Okay. This
Assuming it's
was
more, right?
yes.
Yeah.
This was a vessel that dates back to around the same time that suit that Nia was wearing would date. A little later in time, and it was also an exploratory vessel, which lends itself to what Norton finds inside, which is mostly in disrepair. The vessel itself is not repairable to the state to which you could. Well, actually, for most men, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Billy Red Eye Norton could theoretically repair this entire vessel in shockingly blazing speeds. Unfortunately, it takes a pretty sizable crew to pilot this thing.
Mhm.
Fortunately, you do find
There
in
should
that
be a hangar.
bay, yeah, you find a hangar with what is effectively kind of like I can't think of what they're called in the Star Wars bikes. What the fuck are those called?
Oh, the
Speeder bikes?
yeah, the pod racers.
No, not pod race.
I
Not
know what you're
pods.
thinking of,
Oh,
though.
no, you're thinking of
I don't
like
know what they're called.
the little speeders.
Speeders, yeah, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're just like the bikes they use on Endor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Speeder bike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was right. So yeah, you find effectively speeder bikes, though slightly different design. We'll say like legally distinct.
Nice.
And they're in complete disrepair, but you would be able to repair them with the expenditure of a fate point if that was something you were after. Now, you know that this would not get you up to the Vista, but it could get you back to the longboats. And it's fast enough to evade most of the hounds that you saw, at least.
Most.
Oh, we saw. They move pretty quick.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Hmm.
Norton, what did you roll, though? We never got your...
+2.
Okay, +2, yeah. So you find these, but that is the extent of it.
Okay. We thinking we use these to get to the hangar? We don't have enough crew members to fly this ship.
Right. Well, it would seem to work. It would. How many are there? Enough?
There are... You could repair 3, you think,
Okay.
to functioning state. But you could probably make the trip on 2, though with Chuckle's suit, he probably wants his own.
Yeah. Well, we don't have an exorbitant amount of time to come up with a plan or decision. If these can get us to the longboats, however well they're doing.
Alternatively, I could try to direct you towards another site. We could just keep looking for sites until something's operable. I'll leave it up to you.
Won't they all be like this though?
Well, potentially we could come across a hangar with more of a explorative vessel instead of something like these.
You said this was too large, right? I could take you to a smaller crash site. I'm no expert in these.
Is it nearby?
If you can get those things up and running, anything is.
If I can get these up and running. Please. Don't you know that I designed the O-rings on the Califix Mark III engine?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
You mentioned that to me several times. I
Yeah.
believe 37 to count.
No, surely not. 37?
Oh, I suppose one of them was talking about designs of what you said would be the Mark IV. So 36.
That sounds more right.
What do you think?
All right, well, I'm going to start getting to work on these things. Is everyone kind of fixing their own and spending a fate point to fix their own?
No.
And then I'll take Kieran and...
You spend 1 fate point to fix all of them.
Okay. I will do
And
that.
Soap will be fluttering around, pulling things as you need. trying to assist you to speed up the process.
You know, maybe you're not so bad. You're kind.
Oh, I am a negrek.
Yeah. Gotta say, back where I'm from, we just call you bug people. We got a
Oh,
special
that's,
kind of
that's
exterminator.
understandable. That is a common slur.
He
But
said excited.
you know, I'm starting to think that maybe you do know a thing or two.
Oh, I know many things. Oh,
I think
did
maybe
you know
too
that
many
the...
things.
Oh, did you know that it only takes about 5 minutes for a human species such as yourself to bleed out from a cut artery in the leg?
Now, if I were a thinking man, I'd think that was a threat. But
Oh, no, that wasn't me. That was from generations and generations of other negrek.
oh, well, I hope I don't run into them.
Dexter comes out of your pocket and says, "Now reciting all known slurs for common species in the Union."
Oh, I never looked at this page.
And it just starts rattling off some of the most horrible things you've ever heard. After a shockingly short amount of time, Billy Red Eye Norton gets these 3 hover bikes. There you go. That's speed bikes. I think they call them both. Up and running. And
These land
Nia's
racers.
Nia's starting to look worried as she kind of looks up towards the sky and looks off through the forest. And Kieran is nowhere to be seen for the time being.
Right. Okay. Like she wandered off, or like she's still invisible scouting.
Hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we leave a note for Kieran and let her know where we're going?
What? I mean, we could just call out to her, but... Oh, well, I can't. But one of you could just call out to her. And then we can just go.
Okay.
Can you... Oh, hold on. Do you have a... Soap will grab Dexter and pull up an interface. Do you have her suit number?
Yes.
Whenever you're ready.
Are you wanting to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's CR 854 385 912 W, as in whiskey. X,
Thank you.
as in W again.
Oh,
3,
okay. Thank
4.
you.
You hear a
5.
voice cut through from on top of one of the caps nearby that says, "We need to hurry. They found our location. They're closing in." As Kieran is now
43285.
standing above you.
No signal.
And Nia steps forward and says, "So where are we going? Are we going to the other crash site, or are we going to the longboats?"
Well, we have a person for that.
I suppose we should probably go to the
Soap
crash
will
site,
turn
right?
towards Chuckles.
Me?
Yeah, Chuckles.
Yeah. What's the
What's the
feeling?
vibe? What's the vibe of these two
Kinda like
trolls?
put his hands to his temples. The blotches are moving around. Look, man, there's bad vibes all around me, but I feel like if we go to the boats, they're probably not doing great. All right, that's what started this all, so maybe like let's go to the other crash site. Maybe Big Red can fix that one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
The vibes are better in that direction. Your vibes dowsing rod has pointed you in a direction.
yeah. Do you know how to drive one of these things?
Oh,
I could teach you.
Maybe I'll just ride with Chuckles.
Come on
Well,
up.
you could try. He's kind of bulky.
Hey,
That's fine. I can hang on to the back.
I was about to ask you want front or back.
All right. Well, I'll take mine solo to be safe. So
Top or bottom?
Kieran hops down and says, "So I don't get a say? I have to ride with Norton?
would you
You'll be
prefer to ride
safe
with
with me.
I'd prefer to have my own."
Well, if you find one, I'll fix it.
Fine. She gets on the back of Norton's.
Now hold on tight. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Yeah. That's a rear
So-
back.
Fires
kind
his
of-
laser pistol into the air
Yeah.
and rears up the front of his speeder
Yeah.
bike.
I imagine as we're going, my tendrils are. I'm doing this
Yeah,
every once in a while.
hitting her in the face. She's like,
Yeah.
you see, she's kind of leaned around to the side and kind of pointing where you're supposed to go. Let's have everybody roll a drive check to see how effectively we get there.
Good thing I got to drive. My surfing
Making
skills
that
give me
better.
the ability to navigate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
All right.
I got a 4.
Oh, I got a cool 1.
It's not bad. Soap sort of falls behind, but everybody does pretty well. You're used to most of these technologies. Red Eye, you are more on the development side than the practicality side, but you know your way around some machines. So, as a group average, you guys do well. You can hear, sort of as you take off, tearing through the fungal growth behind you,
God.
the approach of what you would assume to be hounds, though you never really get a good look at. But with Nia's aid and with the speed of these bikes, you are able to put, and your driving abilities apparently, you were able to put some space between you and the force that is hunting you. You make your way to another smaller crash site. This one, there's this large stalk that is sort of almost completely encompassing this thing. This ship that's poking out, it looks strange at first. You can't really get a good visualization of like how it would even have functioned, the shape it would have been in. Soap. Actually, let's start again with Chuckles. Chuckles, this one's gonna take a high roll. You know that. You know that
Okay.
this is going to be a difficult task. You could use your landscaping ability and spend a fate point to just automatically succeed on completely clearing this thing, or you could
Oh, okay.
save the fate point and risk it and try to roll, knowing that it's going to be high DC with the potential of not completely clearing it.
Yeah. I think I will. I'm gonna use it just because I think things are coming.
Okay,
I guess
so
I don't even have to roll.
you sort of kick the suit into overdrive. The overdrive that Norton has mentioned several times in different contexts, and you just tear apart. It's not bark in the same way that you're used to with these large stalks. So you are able to like pry it free.
While I'm
and-
doing that, I look at Nia. I'm like,
She's sitting on the bike with one leg crossed over the other one, like in a fainted position. And
Right next to her, you see a chunk of the bark you ripped off. Soap is
No.
sitting next to her.
yeah. Soap is doing research. Norton, I'll have you roll another crafts check here.
Ooh. Bad roll. So, but +1 still.
So this is not a piece of technology you're familiar with.
Uh-oh.
The thing that's sticking out, now that it's completely cleared, is less like a ship. Looks closer to like an enormous version of some kind of a suit. You swear you make out a limb from the jumbled mess. You're sort of at a loss. You know technology, but where this falls in history is sort of confusing to you.
Is this one like a bumblebee or an Optimus?
You pull out Dex and ask.
Guys,
Do a lore check if you want to get some more
I
information.
got
on it.
good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first?
Oh shit. Well,
How about good news only?
All right, the good news is we have narrowed down our possibilities of getting off this planet.
Well, I kind of know what it is. With my
The bad
11
news
with my 11 lore.
Is I don't think this is Optimus Prime.
No! Oh, it better not
is-
be fucking Starscream.
It is not a Decepticon, nor is it an Autobot.
Oh,
It
thank God.
is, in fact, an ancient mech. So this was piloted and used in combat between... It's kind of primitive technology at this point. Like, there are just more effective ways than making a guy really big out of machinery. But it's still sick. And it looks like this one took, obviously, sizable damage, but not enough to make it not function. It's missing the majority of one of its arms. But otherwise, you think you could get this bad boy running. With the help of Soap's historical context and knowledge on what this thing is, it sort of starts to come together. And you think about that time period and you can tap back into some knowledge that you had. If you want to use another fate point, you guys could upgrade your bikes for a broken Gundam.
Ooh. And look, you can see that the damage isn't too bad, mostly from the elements. As Soap will just walk up and like lift up just this skull. You can tell by the cracks from the this body in the cockpit that
Thank God
it was
you said
concussive
bit.
force.
Well, I can get this thing going. What do we think?
Well, how many of us can fit in it? Also, can it reach atmosphere?
Those
Both
are
good
both
questions.
great questions.
With
I
your
don't know.
crafts roll, you're not sure.
Yeah. We need to
But
get to the Vista.
With a roll of an 11, there are models that could. You're unsure if this is one of them.
Mhm.
So one of us would have to abandon our bike for this new mech suit at least.
So this mech is big. This is large enough to fit all of you, though it's going to take some time to figure out how to pilot it, if it's sort of a one-person pilot situation or if it's going to require some coordination.
I think we do it.
Oh, we can. Do we try to go to the longboats? Perhaps this is the firepower we need to help clear up the longboats to get back to the Vista.
I think you're right. That's a good idea there, Soap. You're continuing to surprise me.
Well, I'll try to make more obvious statements from now on, so your heart rate doesn't rise.
So, I'm thinking, Chuckles, what's the vibe check on us taking this mech suit? and busting all to hell every robo dog that we run into on the way to the longboats.
Let me check on that man. I'm liking it, dude. I'm liking it. You know what? I think we can do it, boys.
I like how you've never
That's-
asked for a roll for your vibe checks. You really just feel it.
It's
Yeah.
just,
I
it
think
is the
that's
vibe.
how it should
Yeah.
be.
I've been
Using it
saving.
well.
I was planning on asking eventually, but I'm gonna ask when it's important. I
This
mean,
is-
not that this isn't important.
All
This is
right.
all great. No, I think this is the way it should be. Yeah, so this thing is, its body and head is sort of like one continuous, almost egg-like structure, like an egg turned upside down. So the head is sort of short and sunk down into the neck and rotates more like a turret. And the pilot would sit primarily up in the upper torso. There is some room along the sides of lower in the torso with what you now see to be openings where other gunners could be positioned. And the arms and legs are sort of weak points just objectively, which is why these things are probably not in fashion anymore. But the one arm is pretty much completely removed above the elbow. The other one is sort of this like almost battering ram like club of an arm that does have like a turret on the like back of the forearm built in so that it could be used for some firepower. The back of this thing does have some like propelled missile capabilities, but they're all pretty well inert at this point. If you wanted to spend some time and just do a roll to try to create some of these with some crafts, or like, you know, get something that could pass as an explosive that you could use, you could try to do that as well, but the clock is ticking. And the jet propulsion comes mostly from like a big jet pack, but also out of the boots for stabilization.
Let's ride.
Our main goal would, if we do come across these, would be what? Smashing these hounds, stomping on them. Weaponry look worse for wear. And I can't operate gunnery.
I don't think it's wise to take this into the hounds.
Well, I agree. But if we're going to the longboats, there's a good chance they'll be there.
That's true, but it's older technology. Things like this don't last long. It could maybe buy you a few minutes, but I don't see this thing taking any of them out, unless you can fashion some sort of a weapon that does do damage to them.
Enough of a distraction to get us to a longboat, perhaps. Does it have any functioning autopilot? Norton?
Let me check. As my eyes scanning the device.
Let's say roll a crafts check on a 4 or greater. You were able to restore or implement some semblance of an autopiloting system. Any lower than that, it's either in disrepair or never did.
I got a 5.
Hey!
Hey. So,
Yes, the autopilot switch is right here, clearly marked autopilot.
Oh, it's right next to the stabilizer.
I can even plug in exact coordinates of where I want it to go and put it in defense mode.
If you look, it looks like they turned the stabilizer off, and it looked like the pilot died when the machine tripped over itself.
I'll make sure to turn the stabilizer back on for us.
That's a good idea.
Notably, no body in the crash.
Where'd I get the skull?
You didn't.
Oh,
It's a rock.
it's a rock. No wonder it was so hard to eat. I miss Blat.
Second rock you've eaten after that was one of the only things you've established. I still think your character wouldn't eat.
Right. Well, how can I help?
If you want to expend a fate point, which I believe you already decided you would do, you can get this thing up and running. And everybody else is just at your disposal as far as co-pilots. I told you kind of the layout of this thing, so I'd assume you would primarily pilot it. But
Is it possible to get one of the speeders on there?
in what capacity? Like inside?
Yeah, just if there's a opening big enough where we can store one of the speeders.
You could have it hold the speeder. Carry it.
That's true. It could carry a speeder.
But it wouldn't fit in the inside now.
Yeah.
You could maybe find a way to strap it to its back if that's something you're interested in, but that's where all the propulsion is. It probably wouldn't
Yeah,
be
that's probably a bad idea.
So I'm head pilot.
You are the head pilot, as in you're a pilot in the head.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll be the eyes and ears. You guys operate the rest of this beast, and we'll get ourselves home in no time.
All right. What should I do?
Are you feeling like doing the stomping, the shooting, the ripping, or the tearing?
Oh, if by stomping you mean stomping on the ground towards the destination, I can do that.
I also meant stomping on the brains of these metal dog heads.
Oh,
But
that seems
both
violent.
will
I don't want to do
suffice.
that.
Will you do it if they're being mean to us?
Potentially, but they probably have good reason, to be fair.
All right, you'll be in charge of the walking.
All right.
Yeah, we'll say
Chuckles.
for the interest of this being more exciting for everybody, yeah, one person has to control the body and the other person controls the flight pattern, so like the jets and everything.
Okay.
And then somebody else can just be on weaponry. So if you have any projectile weapons, you can fire them out from the inside.
Nice.
Okay, so I can be in charge of. Shoot is one of my skills, so I guess I could be the weaponry. Chuckles, I will leave you for the flying.
All
You
right,
say
man.
you know how to drive?
I mean, like, I can ride a wave.
Well, this is the same exact thing.
All right, dude. Can you just
Kill
like
me.
you just like point to where I do it, and I'll do it.
All right, so first, you flip this yellow switch here, but only halfway,
Oh shoot! I'm going back that way.
and you're good.
Oh,
The rest, you ever played? It's a little old-fashioned, but a video game.
what? What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just use
What are you,
your.
some sort of
just
loser?
use your.
You ain't a
instinct,
fucking
dude.
dork, is you?
Look, man, I like spend my time outside, touch grass.
I played sports.
Well, this is
Fucking
just the
dork.
same thing.
All right, man. I'll do it. I'll do it. Hey, wait. There's like another seat here. Where's Nia at?
You turn around, she's sitting in the seat.
Nia, you are responsible for making sure Chuckles doesn't fly us into a rock formation, thus ensuring our demise early.
I don't see how I'll be able to do that, but
Thank
I
you.
have full faith in it.
So, do you need any assistance down below?
I will be operating the limbs, yes?
Yes.
So all three of you are going to be kind of in the cockpit.
Well,
All right, Soap. I guess you could sit with us.
okay.
I would like. Well, could I
So Kieran will be down in the body with a rifle that she has.
Okay.
All right.
You would like to what, Chuckles?
This is a very important moment. I'd like to kind of like put my hands over the flying controls, and I'd like to check the vibes.
Would you like to roll for a vibe
Yeah,
check?
absolutely. This is important.
What are you sort of trying to ascertain from these vibes?
Look, man.
Just the vibes? Yeah. No,
I'm
I
just
got
gotta
it.
feel it.
I'm sorry I asked. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I get it.
You know what?
And I'm gonna say, what are we gonna add to your vibe check?
I was gonna
Let's-
say, what's this roll here?
what's your highest skill?
Empathy.
Yeah, it's an empathy roll. I agree. You're feeling the
Yeah.
empathetic with the
Yeah.
universe, bro.
That's a 6,
Like,
baby.
Shit.
Come on.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Vibes are a little off. Vibes
Oh,
are weird.
dude.
But
All
like,
right.
this situation's kind of fucking, like, it's just, So yeah, man, vibes are off for sure.
Vibes are off?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't know
guys,
what it
look,
is, though,
look.
bro. But vibes are weird.
Yeah, it's not right. Something's not right.
Got a
With
couple
the mech
hairs
suit?
tingling.
Shut
No,
up.
Just with
man.
Our
It's the
operation.
controls, man. I'll do it. Like, I'll do it because you asked me to, and like, you're my friend, Big Red, but it doesn't feel good.
I feel it. I also feel the vibes.
See, now Soap, even
I
the
feel
bug is doing it.
unease.
You what?
I feel it. The
Did you say-
unease in the air.
I thought you
Also
said
the
you feel
stomach.
it in your knees. I was confused.
No, I do have small joint pain, but that is probably because of the strenuous activities of today.
Okay, man. All right. Here's some
And,
essential
like,
oils, man.
a little bit of like corrosive spit will just kind of like come out, and like you almost see like steam in the air a bit. You're just like, ugh.
It could be
Oh,
what you're
that
eating,
feeling's
man.
passed.
You need to eat more
I
natural
no longer
plants,
feel
bro.
the vibes.
Well, I guess that settles it.
Off we go.
All right, I
going-
need some drive checks.
I'm going to scoop down and actually grab one of the bikes.
Okay,
Just
cool. You have the limbs.
My best
Yeah.
roll today.
We'll say 3 drive checks. We're gonna hope for 2 successes. Best 2 out of 3.
I got a
Um,
4.
Well, I was gonna say a success is gonna be determined by at least a +3, so we want to be good at this. And this is safe passage there. So
Okay.
All right,
Let me roll.
Norton, what'd you get?
2.
Okay, I got a +1, which means I can use a fate point to switch my genetic memory towards drive.
nice,
Yeah, we might need you to do that.
So that means I'll have a +3.
sweet. So that's 2 successes. What version of the Negrek do you switch back to? As you're like, I imagine you kind of like we're cutting to that scene in that Negrek's life where it was a professional driver or something. What's going on in your head?
Yeah,
right now?
I'm just pulling through a bunch of different memories of Negrek operating machinery and just various little things. A lot of the memories Negrek would like to keep are often personalized, and this is probably one who wasn't acting like a typical Negrek. Was probably like more of a racer, and all these intense moments are just all kind of locked in and memorized as they're just these big moments for them. So I start remembering all these things from this past life from generations and generations ago. I was just like, oh, all right, not like that, like this. As all of a sudden it seems like Soap just kind of like switches gears and just starts operating things slightly differently and almost moving in a slightly different way. Yeah.
Love it. Soap locks in. and becomes way cooler for a couple minutes. Sort of John Travolta-esque. But like, before, Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys successfully clear the tops of the trees in this fungal forest, but keep hugging close enough to where you're not drawing suspicion. You see, at one point, tearing through below you in the path that you had left behind, several of the hounds that have started to circle in, some of which will leap up and get to the top of the fungal forest and sort of almost be in range, but you pass quickly enough over them, they're not able to get to you. As you just see their like unfolded faces just following you through the air. And you travel further and faster, finding several more packs of hounds, before eventually, in the distance, you start to see the dig site and the longboats. Who's got the highest notice? Actually, Kieran's with you. You see, Kieran shouts out from below and says, I see him. It looks like there's still a few intact. I don't see any hounds.
Hopefully pulled away.
Don't let your guard down. They could be anywhere.
Okay.
Maybe they
What's the
go
plan?
invisible.
All right. Well, you got the autopilot working on this, yes?
I'm thinking we just go as fast as possible in a straight line directly to where the ships are.
Right.
I'm
Land
driving
nearby,
this thing, brother.
Land nearby, set the autopilot, and have it take off in a different direction and hopefully cause enough of a stir crashing through the jungle so we can get a longboat to the sky, yes?
But what if we get ambushed and we need the mech to do our stomping?
Well, the mech's too big to fit on a longboat. We need to get to the Vista.
Yeah.
All right. I went Forrest Gump there for a second.
Right?
Jenny,
All right.
we need to get to the Vista.
Yeah, hold on, I lost it. What else say something?
So, wait.
I never did see Blad again.
Yeah, I'm never gonna. I've
No!
been hearing that all the time now. All right, so let's do your plan then. We get there. We launch the mech off, hopefully causing enough of a ruckus where we can get on the longboat and get away. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
All right, Chuckles. Vibe check. What do you think?
All right, man. Yo, boys, this is not good. All right.
Such a happy negative response.
Yeah, listen,
I
this
like the
is gonna
optimism.
be epic in the wrong kind of way, if you understand what I'm saying.
Oh,
Are you suggesting that we do something else?
I'm gonna look at Nia. Hold on, baby. I'm gonna start taking us down.
So he's just doing it anyway.
Hell
All
yeah.
that to say, well, let's do it anyway. All right. So you land. You land your Gundam. You land your mech right near the most intact longboat, as guided by Kieran. And you start to, I assume, stealthily unload or
Yeah.
slip out while you set the autopilot.
Yeah. They'll have it drop the bike and
Okay.
just put it on neutral and kind of start pushing it towards the.
So everybody roll stealth checks as you slip out of the back of this thing and try to pretend like you're still.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a +1.
Plus
I'm-
1 for me too.
I'm not good at stealth. That is a 0.
Okay. Average
negative,
to
yeah.
mediocre on average. Let me roll for them. Well, fortunately, you have Kieran with you. Okay. So, you slip out of the back of this mech. You set it on autopilot. As you're completing that and you slip out the back, you start to hear something. The sound of scraping. And then you see a flash of light. And from the tunnels around you, you see sprouting waves of hounds pouring out in your direction. Just then, the mech springs to life and launches out, racing towards the nearest forest line. This has now become a skills challenge. Your first skill, we're going to go to 3 successes or 3 failures. 3 failures, bad stuff happens. 3 successes, you successfully repair and give Norton enough time to get off this island. Well, planet.
Yeah.
The first, I will allow to be your mech, if that is your intention. That will
Hell
be your
yeah.
first attempt at success. I'm going to say that is going to come down to a crafts check made by Billy Red-Eye Norton.
Come on now, son.
All right.
Now, we're going to need some high DCs for this. I'm going to establish this needs to be great. Needs to be a +4.
Okay. I might. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, not good.
You still have 1 fate point remaining.
Yeah, I do.
Nobody messed with compels this time, so nobody has any extra.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Yeah.
It's one of our weaknesses in the fate world, but we'll get there.
Correct.
Right now, we're just sort of
Okay.
using them as like story-breaking elements that you. have
So,
a little bit about
let's
stuff, which I
say-
think is fun.
Right.
Let's say I have to use my last fate point and I'm at +3. Theoretically, what would happen?
We
With the
fail?
last face point.
Yeah.
With the last fate point. What's your crafts at baseline?
+3. I rolled a -2.
And you
Oh,
have
man.
a +3 from.
Is this
Being
from
the
my
mechanic.
constructing?
Yeah.
Come
Okay,
on
well,
now.
Maybe I hold off on using that fate point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you have a baseline +6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that case, I'm sitting at +4 right now.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so very good. You have used
Woo.
the skill that you were good at to succeed at a difficult task. That is, by definition, what we're doing here.
Very good.
You have created. There was already a semblance of autopilot that was mostly designed for just like maintaining altitude while they were fighting and focusing more on combative things. You have Billy Red-Eye Norton this thing. So it's not just following one order, stay the course. This thing had a programmed mission. And not only did you tell it to launch off in a direction, you told it to raise hell on its way out. So this
Yeah,
thing
baby.
flies over and just picks up one of the longboats next to you and starts to like press it off the ground as it's lifting up towards the canopy. The hounds don't seem to be distracted by it. They are focused in on you and completely ignoring it. But as they're focused in on you, it's able to get a vantage to drop this longboat and just like crush 3 of them and bury
Boy.
a couple into the dirt. And then it starts like kind of sputtering because it used a lot of force to do that, and it only has the one really functioning arm, and sort of spirals out and then crashes down itself into another wave of hounds and just sort of buries itself. Yeah, but it did do the job. Didn't really make it to the forest.
Optimus! No!
Autobots
Yeah.
roll out, and then it crashes into the. Yeah. And okay, that's one success. Good work. All right, you
Oh.
need 2 more successes before 3 failures. You're sitting pretty. Who's got an idea for what they want to do next?
Are we
We can go popcorn style. You just you can't go twice.
are we going into the longboat right now, or are we still outside?
You're surrounding the longboat, pr- allowing Red Eye to have enough time to repair it. That was sort of a retroactive role for him because he had already put in that work. But
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Let me look at it. If I use a physique check, is that for like anything that involves? I'm getting that confused with like strength, basically, or like athletics. Can physique
it basically
effectively
is
be a
that.
strength check?
Yeah, it's not Constitution in this game. I mean, it is, but it's also
Yeah.
strength. Athletics is more like dexterity, though. They're not perfectly distinct groupings.
Yeah.
Are there any trees around?
No, but there are remnants of them.
Yeah.
So there's like some stumps and some charred remains.
Okay. I'd like to use a physique check to pick up one of these larger stumps and throw them towards some hounds to try to like back them up. Not sure if that's gonna do anything.
So I'll say that these, like the stalks of these fungal forests, are not as dense as like what you're thinking of with a woody stem, and so
I could have told you that.
there's very limited remains anyway.
Oh, I have a better idea anyway.
But there is rubble, so you could use like fractured pieces of maybe of other longboats or of some of like the excavation equipment that is lying around, and use that. There's also some like drills and powerful tools used to excavate that you could potentially weaponize, either by just launching or turning on and setting in a direction if you want to try to go that route.
Yes. Can these hounds like rip into metal?
Yes.
Okay,
seen
then
those.
I'm gonna go to one of the drills and try to push it their way. Or like use it,
Okay.
set it up, going that way.
Okay. There are quite a few of them, but I think this is big enough that it will at least carve a path and make them have to go around it. So I would say this is a crafts check, though. This isn't really physique. If you're going to just try to
Yeah.
like, set it up and turn it on and send it their way. If you want to do a physique check, you could just like fucking crank this thing so it's turned on because you are a loader. You know how to work the machine. And then like try to fucking pick up a sizable drill and launch it at them.
Let's do that.
Sure, why not? That's cool.
Hell yeah.
So let's
Do
roll
it.
a physique check. I'm gonna say this is really difficult. I'm gonna say you need at least a 5 for this one to be successful because this is
Okay.
slightly smaller impact in the grand scheme of things. You got to be really tactful with where you throw this thing.
Come on.
Let's go. Wait, 1, 2.
Oh. Let's go. Wait, now I count.
Actually, yeah, 7.
Shit.
Nice.
Hey,
Okay,
boy.
okay,
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I love that
yeah.
you actually
Knuckles.
have fudge dice. That's great, man.
Yeah.
All right. You, as described, you sort of put your leg up on this thing and grab this ripcord or this this like starter, and you get this thing rolling. It's this giant drill that jumps to life, and it starts to concentrate this beam of energy in front of it, and that's really what they use to carve away at stuff. And you like get under this thing, and you feel some of the pistons in this suit start to blow as like you lift this drill up overhead and sort of press it above you, and you get down and launch it, and it sort of arcs perfectly. And as these hounds are like rushing past each other and bumping into each other and moving around, it just comes down and digs straight into the top of one of these things and like starts to burrow through it as it just digs its head into the dirt and kicks it up, and its tail whips around and hits the one next to it, and it sort of causes a little bit of like a rolling pile up at the front before they start jumping over top of those and wrapping around. You've bought yourself a few seconds, but it was placed correctly enough that you think this is valuable. It's a success. There's one more success
Nice.
necessary to get this thing off the ground.
Oh, and by the way, after I threw it, I went and looked at Nia.
Nia, who is like nervously in the longboat already, kind of just peeking out, like ready to get the fuck out of here, looks back at you and gives like a cheeky little smile, like,
In the opposite direction, Norton will feel something kind of get pulled off of his pouch as Soap just takes a tool, and then Norton can hear Soap start to explain to you for some reason, because you're there, of these moving suns. They're attracted to more biological forces, more flowing, or organic, complex organisms, and you just watch as he just takes one of these, sharper tools you have, and just kind of cuts into his chitnit plate as he kind of like winces. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself a mild consequence for it. And
slash wound.
Yeah, slash wound, as he then has the fuel tank of this speeder open, as he's kind of pushes some into it and mixes it around, and then just activates the speeder and kicks it off, so it starts rolling off in the opposite direction as this fume starts coming out the back. As I'm going to try to pull them away.
Using your own blood.
Using my own blood. I am going to go ahead and, on top of that, I'll use the anthropologist's fate point, where I remember that is a fact about this species, or whatever they are.
This type of yeah, absolutely, that works.
Nice.
So
Cool.
you're like, these things are designed to hunt something specifically. It's living organisms. It's life. These things track down life. So you enter this life essence into this machine and kick it off. I love it. I'm gonna give you a
It's a short
Sure.
burst, but hopefully it won't burn through my bodily fluids
Yeah.
quickly enough to.
I'll give it a lore. Yeah, sure. We'll say this is a lore roll. You're utilizing that.
It's actually kind of utilizing a lot of different things.
I know, that's why it's
It's tough.
it almost should be complicated. But I'm gonna say you need this to be good. We're gonna not literally good. We need this to be fantastic. They are closing in. You need a +6 for this to be a success.
All right.
And they're rapidly closing in around you.
Well, hopefully, this bike that just picks up life and just starts shooting towards this group of these horrible monstrosities become distracted by my 9.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Okay. So you launch this thing off in the opposite direction. And actually, you do notice a few in that that are coming from that, because they're sort of closing in. They're circling around and closing in on you at this point. And one of them that's sort of leading the pack jars off in that direction, pouncing at it almost instinctively before it can comprehend what's happening. And it cuts off another one, which sort of, they trip over each other and hop up and then start like scanning, and a few more start to rush that way. It causes enough of a commotion that Red Eye, you just finish repairing this engine in time.
Yeah.
This one you don't even need to roll for. You're familiar with these. You helped design this thing.
Yes.
This was just a matter of time, and it wasn't very damaged. You just got this thing operational. And just then, you close the doors and start to take off. I need you to make one final drive check to depart from this thing
All right, boys.
fast enough so that you're not.
Everybody, hold on.
Blink, blink, blink,
Oh
blink.
no!
You're out of fate points.
I have one fate point left,
You
but
do?
even then. Wait, guys. Guys, I think I forgot how to drive.
There ain't no gas in it. Can you use a fate point to re-roll?
Yeah?
Ooh.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
you
need to do that. I
Very
rolled a
rarely do we
-4.
do that, but you can either use it to reroll or to give yourself a +2.
I'm gonna re-roll. I got a -4. All right.
You're gonna what, Dylan?
I'm gonna re-roll. Re-roll.
Clip it.
And
That's where the graphics go.
there we go. That's a +2 total.
A +2. A resounding +2 after all that effort. So you ended with a fair. All right. Well, I'll tell you, with a fair, just as
Uh-oh.
the hounds approach, you feel the lift of the engine, and Nia presses into you, Chuckles, as gravity pushes you back down as you start to lift off, and these hounds start piling over top of each other, jumping up. You hear the scraping of a claw against one of the thrusters, but you feel the little jolt as you're able to steady it and head up back towards the sky. All four of you, including Kieran and Nia. As you do so, the sky starts to darken
Oh no.
as you see a form start to appear, breaking through the clouds above you. This unfathomably large, what appears to be a disc, a maw? This spinning circle that breaches the clouds, wider than you can comprehend, with glowing energy that seems to pulse down a tunnel that you can't see the end of. And
Capture taken.
these
Capture taken.
enormous arm-like structures reach through the clouds as this being, this deity, this Morothos appears. No face, no recognizable features. You hear worried, shaking, chittering sounds coming from inside the vessel. Before the radio, static starts to come through.
Oh, I have a connection on Dexter.
You poor creatures. You know not what you harbor.
Oh,
Just
I
then,
don't think so
Nia
here.
lunges forward and hits the radio off and says, "We need to go fast. It's here. That's Morothos. It'll kill us all. We have to go around it. We have to go.
It's the size of the sky, Nia.
Do something, anything around it. You guys have firepower. The radio's back up. Maybe communicate with your ship." She starts to get worried.
I'm looking at Nia like this.
The radio cracks back on.
You have all been deceived. I mean you no harm. But what you harbor is a threat to the universe as we know it.
I look at Soap.
Well, it happens. Sorry.
Yeah.
He'll poison your mind. This is how he gets you. This is why everyone disappears.
I'd
He
like
wipes
to,
things off the face of this planet. Please.
Well, we should hear him out. Besides, there is no evil, only misguidance.
Nia looks to you, chuckles, and says, "Don't. This has happened before.
Chuckles.
Please, Chuckles. I need to get off this planet. You're my only hope to get out of here."
I would like
Chuckles.
to use a fate point because vibes don't lie.
Okay.
And I'd like to, I guess, investigate if she's lying to me.
Or like empathy. What would that be?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Empathy?
yeah.
I'll let
empathy?
you roll empathy for that, yeah.
I would like to use a fate die to re-roll
All right.
because
for
I
it.
rolled a -4
To what?
Wow.
to re-roll.
Reroll.
Yes.
Deedly, deedly, deedly.
That's 2 -4s.
And that one is much better. That's a +3 plus
Oh.
7.
Ooh. Nice.
For
So
the
I'm looking at her
first
like this.
time, for the first time since you met Nia, your vibe checker has decided to direct his vibe checking sensors at her.
It was love, boys.
And you see the features: the small mouth, the big eyes, the feminine form, the suit. What was it that Soap and Dexter said about that suit? 800 years old. Mykins.
Oh yeah, the Void Century.
They knew what race that species that suit was from.
True.
Maybe she scavenged the suit. The mouth's a little different than it was when you first saw her.
Oh my god.
The eyes slightly bigger. And you look up and you see that same nervous chittering coming from Kieran.
Okay.
And you hear the voice come through this radio once more and say, "They are a plague. A plague that threatens to wipe the Earth, the galaxy.
Oh,
And
I've
the
been called that
universe.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
All
only I
living
can talk about soap that way.
organisms. They consumed my creators. I was tasked as their warden. I am sorry. You may not leave. Not with them.
Them.
As you see the rings start to spin and light up.
Oh, hold on.
As you see Nia look at Chuckles and say, That's insane. You know who I am."
Listen up. I've been traveling trying to find the right vibes. I thought for a minute it was you. And then I'm gonna look at Red Eye. I'll say, "Remember me, brother." And then I'm gonna attempt to grab her. Oh, and also Kieran, and then jump off.
Oh shit. Okay.
Shackles.
So first of all,
no!
roll a physique check. I
on,
am
no.
going to. This is a difficult thing to do.
No,
I'm going
Shackles.
to hold the DC in my head, and I'll let you know what happens afterwards.
I'm
We're
out of
gonna
too.
talk about the.
Let's go. Say plus. Well, I get the +4 for the physique, plus that, plus my baseline physique. So +8.
Plus 8.
Wow.
A +8 accurately puts this skill check at the status of legendary. As Chuckles makes this final declaration, you hear Nia start to click angrily as her face starts to change shape. Her body starts to expand, and the suit just pours off of her as she says, "You saw only what I wanted you to see, you idiot!" And she starts to lunge and almost expand, like pseudopods wrapping around Chuckles, lunging for the controls as Chuckles stands, snapping through the restraints that were holding him in his seat, still clutching him under his arm, and in one motion dives, catching Kieran as both of them start to pour around him semi-liquid, and he just breaks through the door, tearing through, sparks flying out around him as the hydraulics fail, and you see Chuckles semi-covered in these fungal consuming alienoid species, potentially the love of his life, finally taking a stance for anything, and it's to save the two of you.
Oh.
As he plummets back
Chuckles,
down
God
towards the
damn it.
surface
There has to be
into
another
a pile
way.
of hounds.
No.
While he's doing that, Soap will kind of quickly, put himself together and unhook and, cling onto the walls and clack over to the emergency lock and pull it down so it seals off.
I go, no! We have to go
As
get him.
as the wind stops, the last image you have is of Chuckles in his power suit, trailing through the sky back down towards the surface. Before the doors slam, the pressure stabilizes, and you're left alone.
It should have been me. It should have been me, not Chuckles. He never even found the vibe he was looking for.
Soap will get up and walk over to the radio. Norton, I can't operate this.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, what's he gonna do? Alright.
Could you let the thing know to scan the ship or something?
The disc slows down. But Norton, go ahead.
We have no more hostile creatures on this ship. You can let us pass.
The voice tears through the radio once more. Go. But return. Return with enough power to
to destroy this planet. Do what I cannot. End my shift.
I'll do what I must.
As your ship, dwarfed by the mass of Morophos's maw, ascends and eventually returns to the Vista.
On its way there, Soap will, plop down next to Norton. Just, I think it's time for me to retire, Norton. I mentioned earlier where we have genetic memories. And, how major moments can stick with a Grek. Well, I think I'd want every future generation to know about Chuckles. I think I need to make it back.
So, I'll make sure you get back and retire safely. And you will honor Chuckle's memory, as I will also. As I will now be known as Billy Chuckles Norton.
All right. Well, it looks like I have some reports to fill out. Chuckles Norton.
Yeah, we got some explaining to do.
As a human
That's a lot of wasted nutrients.
and a Negrek, the only surviving members of the Vista's incursion on this island, and really of
Chrysos. Planet Chrysos.
island. I keep saying that.
Yeah. You
And
want a
of
pirate
this-
adventure real
I
bad.
want a pirate adventure so bad. Of this planet. And really the only surviving members that partook in mission designation Taiki. Return to the Vista. And hopefully eventually return to exterminate the remainder of this species. That's where we end our story. Good work, boys. You did it.
Good work.
Yeah.
Nice one. I mentally clocked that something was off with Kieran in the beginning, and then I completely forgot about it.
I knew it
Yeah.
the whole
And
time,
then-
dude.
Yeah,
So-
and then at the end, that I actually didn't
Oh,
really
the
see that
vibe
plot
check
twist coming.
guy knew the whole time.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I almost did a